Rise and grind, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get bumpy. Time to attack and dominate. This is Morning Juice with Brandon Beam and Bobby Carpenter.
And here we go on a Tuesday, attacking and dominating our way to 9 a.m. every single weekday morning right here on The Fan. Brandon Beam, the General Bobby Carpenter, and of course our fearless leader and producer, Mark the Shark. Bob, we've made it back here to the weekend, buddy. What's going on, man? Good to talk to you here on a Tuesday.
Yeah, we have. Yesterday was a rough and long day. Double Monday night pleasure beam, double your fun. And as things changed, the more they stayed the same, with Will Levis throwing an early interception.
Yep, then he gets banged up and leaves, and the Titans win their first game of the year.
The good thing was I didn't have to wait very long to see it.
Yeah.
There's a group of guys that all play, that work out together, Ohio State, that we call the Veterans Club. And I'm like, I wonder how long it's going to take for Will Levis to throw.
His first possession, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. I go, we didn't have to wait. I thought I was going to have to hang into the third quarter.
When the game's real tight.
Yeah, no, we're going to get out of the way first series. Really just come on out there. Give me some bad ball right off the jump.
You could read his lips, too, after they zoomed on it. He's like, I didn't blank and see him at all.
Of course you didn't. That's why I threw it right to him, buddy. I mean, he has 4 games with 4 terrible turnovers. Atrocious.
Really bad.
Really bad.
Really, really bad.
I mean, 3 of them have been for touchdowns.
Yeah.
That one was not, but it was still awful. I mean, to open the game like that is not what you're looking for.
Yeah, luckily for them, the Dolphins are pretty inept on offense right now.
Oh, my gosh. Saw a thing last year, this time, they were scoring 70 points a game. Now they're lucky to get 70 yards.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, they have 160 or 130 yards, and 80 of it came on their first drive.
Mike McDaniels better get back to that vape pen. I mean, he needs to hit some heavy vapes.
He's wearing a sweatshirt, real sweaty.
Yeah, I'm talking a lot of wow and a lot of vapes. Really expand the mind, get some things going. Titans. WoW would be World of Warcraft for those out here who don't know.
These guys logged an easy 10,000 hours on that game. At least he looks like it.
We also had a debate on how old he was within the family. McClain, he's like 30-something.
I'll say like a 41.
I believe I said 38. Colin said 37. McClain said 43. I believe he is 41. I was the highest without going over, so I claimed Price is Right victory on that.
Born the day after Billy, March 6th.
There you go. So, yeah, but he needs all the vape pens he can get to bring that bad boy home.
Yeah, Snoop Huntley. Not that it's his fault. I mean, he just got there last week.
Yeah.
So, obviously not a great situation for them. So, they lose. And then you had a great second half of the doubleheader between the Lions and then the Seahawks. Jared Goff, NFL record last night, 18 for 18, no incompletions. Kurt Warner had held the record, going 10 for 10. Jared Goff eviscerating that last night.
Yeah, although since it wasn't more than 20 passes, it doesn't count in the NFL record.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Saw that this morning. Driving in, looking at some stuff, and said, yeah, it does not count as a record since it didn't meet the threshold of 20 passes.
Got it.
Plus, we lost to Dikembe Mutombo and Charlie Hustle yesterday.
Yeah, it was a crazy day, wasn't it? Crazy day.
I'm glad that they made Pete wait till he was dead before they're going to put him in.
Yeah, that'll be a big talking point for us, obviously, throughout the program today.
I have zero tolerance. The dude was 83 years old.
Yeah.
At some point,
Joe Morgan passing away in 2020 absolutely, crushed him.
Yeah. And at that point, I think you probably could have put him in the Hall of Fame, minus the probably.
Yeah.
And you put it in there and you talk about all the good and all the bad. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a museum. And he's the greatest hitter of all time. Did he gamble on baseball? Sure. See a flawed human?
Sure.
Absolutely. But like in 1985, you celebrated him like he was the Pope coming to America.
Right. And
then all of a sudden he's on the Devil's list there.
Toss out the Castaway Island.
Oh, I mean, it's just it was sad. The fact that he could become a sympathetic figure at the end speaks to how ridiculous it was.
Absolutely, man. We'll get into that more coming up here at the top of the 7 o'clock hour. We've got a great show lined up for you here this morning. The Big Ten and the SEC are trying to assert their dominance over college football. We'll get into that coming up here in our next segment. Big story coming out from over the weekend and today about their partnership. Schlegel, he's going to join us live I don't know what he's going to say or what he's capable of saying, but he's going to join us.
Awake.
That's true, or if he's even going to join us. He's going to join us coming up here at 6:33 this morning. Steve Helwagen of Bucknuts. He's going to join us at 7:33. Schlegel will reappear, of course, in the 8 o'clock hour as he always does. And then Uncle Beau Bishop, he's going to join the program. We'll talk some Cleveland Browns football, amongst other things, with him a little bit later on in the show. Before we get into anything else today, it is Tuesday. It's the first day of October 2024. Time for Today in History.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
All right, Bob, we got lined up for us this morning, buddy.
Well, it's October 1st. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month, Beam. 275th day, 91 days remaining in this 2024 as we keep plowing ahead. This date, 1890, Yosemite National Park is established by Congress, one of the early national parks.
Yosemite.
1 year later, 1891, Stanford officially opens its doors.
Okay.
Proud member of the ACC.
Yeah, out in Palo Alto, California.
But yet a member of the Atlantic Athletic Conference.
Yeah, that's the way it should work.
Or Atlantic Coast Conference, rather, the ACC.
It used to be the Pacific. They said, that's old news.
No.
Let's go coast to coast.
We're back to the Atlantic here. This date, 1903, the Boston Americans played the Pittsburgh Pirates in the first modern World Series. So would that be 121 years ago today, getting that done, Beam? This date, 1940, the Pennsylvania Turnpike opens up. At the time, it was called the United States' first superhighway, cutting all the way from Philadelphia all the way over to Ohio. 1971, Disney opens its doors in Orlando, Florida. How about that?
Happiest place on earth.
No, it's something. I don't know if it's always that.
Tom Brady wanted to go there. He would take his kids to have fun.
But no, he wants to come and work. This day, 1975. They wouldn't fight it in the United States. They wouldn't fight in America. They went over to Southeast Asia, the Philippines, for Muhammad Ali to take down Joe Frazier. TKOs him in 15, the Thrilla in Manila.
The doctor comes up and looks at Frazier. I think it's going to be over. It's all over. Did you have any doubt about winning at any time?
Well, round 10, I was surprised Joe had so much stamina. I was surprised as in shape he was. And if I didn't have the condition, I know I would have lost. There was too much pressure.
I think he deserved a lot of...
He is the greatest fighter of all times next to me.
Well, what do you think now? What's the future? Foreman against
George
Martin, and you
Foreman.
find the winner?
That's right, and then I want to retire. This is too painful. I want to get up and go out while I'm on top. One more thing, I want everybody to know that I'm the greatest fighter of all times.
One more thing. I want everyone to know that I'm the greatest fighter of all time.
Pretty good, Mike.
Joe Frazier, greatest fighter of all time, aside from me. Well done, Ali. This date, 1977, Pele retires from international competition. The Brazilian star, winner of 2 World Cups, Beam. 1982, Epcot opens in Disney. Do you know what Epcot stands for?
Earth. No. I was trying to make something up on the
Do you know
fly.
what it stands for, Shark?
Entertainment.
Nope.
People of
Countries
Central
of
Texas.
the world.
Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow.
Okay.
Computron was
Way
there.
with the future.
It was. That's why they had the giant ball. They had Figment running around. I remember when I went there, like in 1990, 89, 91, somewhere in there. I mean, it was supposed to be like futuristic. I think that's where Dippin' Dots came from. The ice cream.
The
of the future.
ice cream of the future.
Ice
yeah.
cream of the future. But yeah, I had no idea what it meant until I saw that.
Now you can just drink your way around the world. At Epcot.
So that's all. Yeah, they've turned it into more fun as opposed to the future that it was. This date, 1983, 41 years ago, Bonnie Tyler becomes the first Welsh singer to have a chart topper. Beam, do you know what it is?
Nope.
Come on, Shark, let him know.
Got
Turn
it.
around.
That was a little before my time, Bob.
Of course it was, but then they remixed it and they play it on the clubs and all kinds of stuff now.
I'm a big club guy.
And then in this date, 1982, 42 years ago today, or 1982, 42 years ago today, Sony launches the first CD
Oh
player.
boy,
Yep,
the Walkman.
that was a big deal. The Walkman was like 10 years later, buddy.
Yeah.
That first CD player was the size.
Anti-skip technology.
Yeah, the ESP or ASP. It was the first. The thing was first like 2 cinder blocks wide. Get that thing going. Some birthdays today. Turning 100. The 39th president of the United States, Jimmy Carter.
James Earl Jimmy Carter Jr. was born in Plains, Georgia on October 1st, 1924. Carter graduated from Plains High School in 1941, and in 1943 he was accepted into the U.S. Naval Academy. During summer breaks, he dated childhood friend Rosalind Smith. That same summer, Jimmy and Rosalind Carter were married. Between 1946 and 1952, Carter served aboard battleships and submarines, and he rose through the ranks from ensign to lieutenant. Carter returned to Plains. He was elected to the Georgia Senate in 1962. In August 1974, President Richard Nixon resigned in the wake of the Watergate scandal. That same year, Jimmy Carter, who was still serving his first term as governor of Georgia, announced he was running for president. And on November 2nd, 1976, he narrowly beat incumbent Gerald Ford.
It's a pretty good, succinct history lesson right there, Shark.
I mean, I don't know if we needed that much on a one-term guy, but well done on that.
He's 100 years old, Bob.
He is 100 years. He looks, I thought he died 5 years ago. He looks pretty
Yesterday, Shark, Bob goes, Jimmy Carter turns 100 tomorrow. I was like, don't
put that in the bag
do the
yet.
Shane Bieber situation saying that he's going to be the opening day starter, all right?
Absolutely. Julia Andrews, though, turning 89, Mary Poppins, and The Sound of Music. Shark.
Doe, a deer, a female deer, Ray, a drop of golden sun.
Love Julia Andrews.
Me, a name.
Fantastic.
That was awesome.
I tried to tell Shark to play something from the Hanukkah song with this, but he wouldn't do it because Hall of Famer Rod Carew is turning 79 today. He said no mas. I said the guy's an 18-time All-Star, an AL MVP.
Hall of Famer Rod Carew.
Absolutely. The Festival of Lights instead of one day of President's Beam. He has eight
crazy nights.
Mark McGwire turning 61 as well, the 12-time All-Star, 583 career dingers, 2 World Series titles, and 70 in one season.
Down the left field line, is it enough? Gone! There it is! 62! Touch first, Mark. You are the new single-season home run king. Folks, it couldn't happen to a better man. And you will always know where you were at 8:18 p.m. Central Time, September 8th, 1998.
And then 3 years later, he said the same thing about Barry Bonds.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not quite. Former Bengal Rudy Johnson turning 45.
Rudy, nice.
Absolutely. And then Matt Cain, Giants pitcher, turning 39 today as well, 2 World Series. They had a perfect game in their Beam. And then on this day, 2023, we lost the Knuckle Man, Tim Wakefield, one of my favorites. It is Model T Day, Black Dog Day, National Fire Pup Day, National Hair Day, National Lace Day.
Ooh.
Shark, so make sure Jan is obliging there. World Ballet Day and Vegetarian Day. And those are historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances for this date. October 1st, it's Halloween month, the 275th day of the year, 91 days remaining. It's 2024.
Good job on that, Bob. As always, the Big Ten and the SEC are now challenging the Klingons for interstellar domination. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Watch for crews clearing up a crash on I-270 southbound just past the 270-33 split on the southeast side. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Green & Sons. Family owned and operated for over 45 years. Green & Sons will help you find your next Kubota tractor. Located in Mount Sterling and north of Marysville. And online at greenandsons.com.
Marty Brenneman here for Tri-State Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health for treating erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues. And they're the leader for a reason, because I can tell you from my own experience of being treated there, Tri-State Men's Health is top shelf. Far too many men wait to get their ED treated. But I want to tell you today that you shouldn't wait any longer. If you're suffering with ED and are like most guys, a medical team at Tri-State Men's Health will get you back on track fast. They have the experience, they have the treatment protocols, and they know what they're doing. At Tri-State Men's Health, they have ED treatments that are effective in well over 90% of men. They can even combine treatments for better results. You might even find yourself performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment today. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. They have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
After 31 years in Washington, just how much has Sherrod Brown changed? When he first wanted our vote, he said this.
My allegiance will be to Ohio and to the communities in Ohio.
To Ohio? Sherrod Brown voted for amnesty for 11 million illegal immigrants, and he voted to give them taxpayer-funded benefits, like free health care to illegals who get amnesty, Social Security checks, COVID relief checks, all to be paid for by you. And Sherrod Brown's open border policies have led to more fentanyl, dangerous gangs, even terrorists pouring into our country. So when Sherrod Brown says this,
my allegiance will be to Ohio and to the communities in Ohio.
Don't listen to what Sherrod Brown says. Watch what he does. Because Sherrod Brown doesn't vote for Ohio anymore. He's way too liberal for Ohio. American Crossroads paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. AmericanCrossroads.org.
If you miss a little, you'll miss a lot. Search for your favorite fan shows wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe. Every episode comes right to your phone absolutely free. Modern technology, it's a hell of a thing. Do it now. The Fan.
Chaps here, and yeah, I'm about to be a dad. First kid, a baby boy. It's a big deal, right? Honestly, I didn't think too much about my health before, but maybe, just maybe, I knew something was coming. That's probably why I dropped 95 pounds last year with Awaken 180 weight loss. Perfect timing, because now I won't be lugging around all that extra weight while trying to keep up with a toddler scampering around my feet. And look, I know there are some sleepless nights coming. Bring them on. I've got the energy for it now, and I'll be ready to roll thanks to getting my health in check with Awaken 180. Maybe you've already got kids, maybe yours are grown, or maybe the parenting life isn't for you. Either way, here's the deal. Life is just better. Your health will be better when you're not carrying around a bunch of extra weight. Awaken 180 is a whole new ballgame. Get on it like we all have. It's fast, easy, and you'll keep it off thanks to free support for life. Visit awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800.
Real people in Ohio are learning more and more about the real Sherrod Brown.
I thought I knew Sherrod Brown, but I didn't know his voting record.
Sherrod voted to let transgender biological men compete in women's sports? What?
And Brown would allow puberty blockers and even sex change surgery for young kids.
For kids? Under Sherrod Brown's spending and inflation, everything is more expensive. Groceries, gas, housing, even electricity. Sherrod sure had me fooled. He votes a lot differently in D.C. than he talks here. Washington has clearly changed Sherrod Brown.
Sherrod's not the guy we supported years ago.
Not at all.
And what Sherrod Brown's voting for, it's way too liberal for me.
Sherrod Brown let us down.
Sherrod's changed. That's why we need to change senators.
Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We do have a 30% chance of rain today. Otherwise, expect partial clearing this afternoon. High 79. 73 on Wednesday under partly cloudy skies. Thursday looks like the pick of the week. We're going 77 with plenty of blue skies. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Heading to work? Keep listening to the guys at the office.
Stream the show at 971thefan.com or download the Fan app.
This is Morning Juice.
Coming up here in our next segment on 6:33 this morning, Anthony Schlegel, he's going to join the program live today. Hey, Bob, why don't you give me a number?
18.
Caller number 18, Peyton Manning. 614-821-9710.
Shark's going to earn his paycheck today.
You call in. He's going to have to spin through the phone cycle a couple times. You get into Sharky, you're going to be walking away with a pair of weekend passes to Sonic Temple Art Music Festival. The festival begins Thursday, May 8th. It runs through Sunday, May 11th at Historic Crew Stadium. Metallica, they're going to lead the lineup, headlining Friday, Sunday, promising a no-repeat weekend. You also got Alice in Chains in there, Rob Zombie. For more information, you can check out sonictemplefestival.com, as Shark likes to say. So, saw this from yesterday. saw this from the weekend, actually. Ross Dellinger put out an article, and then it was swiftly followed up yesterday by Heather Dinich of ESPN. Big Ten and SEC athletic directors will discuss a possible partnership in football scheduling, along with their preferences for automatic bids in the next iteration of the college football playoff.
Yeah. This is what they call being flexing your muscles.
It is totally. And I want to read you that first paragraph again, just to set the stage for everything that is about to come in this article. Big Ten and SEC athletic directors will discuss a possible partnership in football scheduling, along with their preferences for automatic bids. That means that the Big Ten and the SEC are getting together. They know the weight that they carry in college football, and they're going to pitch to the College Football Playoff Committee or the College Football Playoff business entity, whoever runs that, in the next iteration of the College Football Playoff. The discussion is to take place in an in-person meeting in Nashville next week. The meeting is a continuation of the Big Ten SEC Joint Advisory Group.
That sounds like a meeting that's important, Beam, that one that everybody needs to be at.
The Big Ten SEC Advisory Joint, the Joint Advisory Group?
Yeah.
Which was formed in February and includes the league's, universities, presidents, chancellors, athletic directors, SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey, and Big Ten Commissioner Mr. Petiti. So there's hope we can definitely move the needle and make progress on different things, one Big Ten source said. The future scheduling partnership could hinge on whether the SEC eventually decides to go to a 9-conference game schedule. A topic one SEC source says hasn't been a focus of conversation lately. Some Big Ten athletic directors actually could push back on any agreement if the SEC does not move to 9 games, because the Big Ten is currently already plays 9 conference games, 3 non-conference.
Yeah, and so then that would push them to 9. I'm guessing they would probably have some sort of scheduling where some sort of Big Ten SEC challenges. I don't know if every team would play another team every year or how that would look. The thing is with the SEC is they do have some built-in rivalries with ACC schools, the Georgia Tech, South Carolina, Clemson, Florida State. You've got Miami in there. Who else plays games with an intrastate school? I think that might be it, if I'm not mistaken. Is there any I'm missing, Shark?
SEC, ACC rivalries?
Georgia Tech, Georgia, South Carolina, Clemson, Florida with Florida State, Miami.
I think those are your big ones.
Shark's unaware. He's drunk. I think that's probably it. Oh, no, Tennessee. Does Kentucky and Louisville.
Okay, yeah.
They play each other. I knew there was one more floating around out there. Yeah, so Kentucky and Louisville play fairly regularly. So they've got those. So that's kind of a built-in Power 5, Power 4 group game. But, yeah, they want to probably do this, and then that'll be your big non-con, and then you'll probably have just 2 other games that you'll be playing, whatever. And they're moving to this NFL modeling where all these games are going to be big and going to matter. So I get this.
Well, after the 2026 college football playoff, Bob, I think, because we're only going to get the 12 team for 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, there was already talks that we're going to move straight to 16, after this. Well, not after the season, but the next 2.
Of the top 13 teams, there's only one team that isn't in the Big Ten or SEC, and that is Miami, and they barely won against Virginia Tech.
And barely winning is even doing it nicely.
So you have Notre Dame at 14, Clemson at 15. The first Big 12 team doesn't appear until 16 with Iowa State, then BYU and Utah. So you have a run of 3 of them, then Oklahoma, then K-State. But, it's just the quality of teams at the top not in the Big Ten and SEC. And this is why Florida State and Clemson are trying their very best to get out of there because they understand it's an unsustainable model. I have no problem with getting auto bids for all 4. I think that that's prudent. And I think that I do like the fact that if you win your conference, you get in.
Yeah.
I don't think those should be the 4 teams that get buys, though. You shouldn't reward a team that goes 9-3 that wins their conference with a bye.
Well, yeah, if you want an auto bid, that's fine. But it's the same thing in March Madness. It's like you say a Big Ten champion who wins the Big Ten conference tournament in basketball gets an automatic number 1 seat. It's that doesn't make any sense really at all. Here's the kicker on this. Sources in both leagues told ESPN Monday that they would prefer to potentially have 4 automatic bids to each get in the playoffs when the next contract begins in 2026.
I don't even know if they need that. Like,
that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
on that,
you know what? If you want to schedule something out in the future and you want to have a Big Ten SEC game, like one road, one home, one road, one home, and you want to do a 2-year contract with teams, that way you get, you know, a home and home with somebody on your schedule for the next foreseeable future. Like, I'm cool with that. 4 auto bids is absolutely throwing your weight around. So let's just play hypothetical here for a second. If the college football playoff goes to, and again, like this contract will begin in 2026, so it's not that far away from us right now, is if you go to 16 teams, you're talking about 50% of your auto bids are going to be from the Big Ten and the SEC. Now, it's the same today because
there's Beam, I would argue that there's going to be 8 of the 12 that are from the Big Ten or SEC this year.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, can you tell me the only way the ACC would get 2 teams in is if Clemson and Miami win out, and I think Clemson upsets Miami in the ACC championship.
Yeah.
That's the only way I think there's a second team that gets in. Because the Big 12 isn't getting a second team in. Right now, they wouldn't even have a team in if it wasn't for their auto bid.
Correct, because that conference is a mess. And a mess in a good way, which is fun to watch for us as college football fans.
It is fun to watch, and it's entertaining. But do you really think that any of the teams at the top there would be able to compete with any of the top 3 or 4 teams in the Big Ten or SEC?
No, but you still play the game.
You still play the game, but you don't want to play a game with a predetermined outcome. Like, they may be able to win a one-off, but as far as being able to do something, like, they're just not there. They don't have the caliber of talent. Like, they might be able to compete with the 4th or 3rd team in the Big Ten and SEC, but I don't know if they're going to be able to go out there and beat the top couple.
It's creating so much of a bigger gap. It's just such a wide margin right now.
It's a gape.
And the SEC, one source from the SEC said, "I'm for anything that gives us the maximum number of postseason opportunities, and I don't count bowl games as postseason opportunities." Yeah, now that they've expanded the playoff field, what do bowl games matter?
Yeah.
I mean, theoretically, if Ohio State misses the playoff and goes to like the Gator Bowl,
sounds awesome.
You gonna be pumped about that?
It sounds great.
Well, too. I mean,
Remember when they went there and played them in Florida in 2010?
I do remember.
How awesome was that? Or 11?
That was the
2011. No, it was 10. No, it was 11.
It was 11.
12.
Yeah, it was 11.
10 was the Sugar Bowl.
6 and 7 season that year.
Yeah,
right?
that was great.
Yeah, so that was
Shark. You remember those memories?
But you're talking about now if you get 4 auto bids. What's the going rate, Bob, for just making the playoff? I don't know, $50 million or
Something
whatever,
like that.
some sort of bonus. I mean, you're talking about an extra $200 million coming into the conference just by throwing your weight around.
Yeah.
So obviously, the 2 strongest conferences in college football having a lot to say about the new college football playoff format. We'll see what comes out next week when they meet in Nashville, but expected that the Big Ten and the SEC is going to push for four auto bids from each conference.
Yeah, getting together, Beam. Big Ten, SEC, it's almost like The Office, coming together, trying to get their little squad, get a pact, if you will, see where that goes. I want to tell you, though, thinking about changing your windows and doors in your home, it'd be dumb not to get a couple of estimates. It's a huge purchase. All I'm saying is don't double down on that and forget to include my friends over at Pella Columbus. Voted by Columbus as the leading, most trusted, and most likely to improve the look of your home. Here's the thing, folks. They've got 5 different window lines for the $300,000 to the $3 million home. So there's something there for everybody. And the Pella product is famous, and they're all Pella quality. So check them out here, their local Pella team. They've been just as impressive at PellaColumbus.com.
Schlegel, he joins us live next. Morning Jupes right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, we are watching crews clear up a crash on I-270 southbound, just past the 270-33 split on the southeast side. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
At Custom Air, integrity is key. That's why there are no high-pressure sales tactics, just a commitment for friendly and professional service. That's the way they do things. It's the Custom Air way.
Attention, small business or sole proprietors. Do you want to save money on health care for your business? Be able to cover your employees with the best dental, doctors, and hospitals? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter for the SACA Benefit Plan. Nearly 100,000 members strong in the state of Ohio. The SACA Benefit Plan is administered by Anthem and could be right for you. Small businesses, visit 844medohio.com. That's medohio.com. The SACA Benefit Plan could be right for you. Visit 844medohio.com.
Would you believe that giraffes are 30 times more likely to get hit by lightning than people? Or that a single cloud can weigh 550 tons or more? Sounds fake, right? How about an insurance company that actually treats you right? Sounds unbelievable, but it's true. NJM Insurance is proud to put policyholders first. And they don't use jingles or mascots either. Don't believe me? Well, guess what? Everything in this commercial is true and approved by the legal department. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Visit njm.com for a quote.
Colin Man and T-Bone here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
We love that place so much, Mike. We're going back again to do a live broadcast.
Friday, October 11th. Be there, be a loser. 3 to 6. That's what time the show is.
I mean, we're losers for being on the show, but you can hang out with us and not be a loser.
We have lots of prizes to give away, including hockey tickets, and we're talking about the big football game they're going to be playing the next day.
Plus, we'll have a fan prize pack given away every hour of the show and stickers.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 2 trips to a Buckeye postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Friday night in the Buckeye State means only one thing. High school football, baby. Join Ryan Baker and Coach Lee Cochran for Byers Dublin Subaru High School Overtime.
Friday night at 9:30.
Your home of all things football. The Fan.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here for my friends at Affinity Whole Health. Affinity is the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy, but they are also much more than that. They help men and women who are experiencing things like low energy, low libido, muscle loss, and weight gain. Turn it all around. You can feel amazing and live better, just like I can. It can be delivered right to your door, which is tremendous. Semaglutide for weight loss and testosterone and hormone replacement therapy for so much more. I've been a customer for years, and it works. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Our clients deserve for us to care, and they deserve to feel serviced. They have questions, and they deserve answers. We're counselors first because I'm not selling them anything. I'm trying to teach clients how to protect themselves. At Curtis & Associates, we're personal injury attorneys. We've helped and continue to help hundreds and hundreds of clients every year. That's important to us. If you've been injured in an accident and it's not your fault, call now. 614-GOT-HURT. That's 614-GOT-HURT. Curtis & Associates. Attorneys who care.
Toyota began a revolution over 20 years ago with this iconic name, the Prius. A revolution that proved there's more than one way to reduce your carbon footprint. Toyota believes the power of choice should be yours because it's not just battery EVs, fuel cells, and plug-ins. Toyota has more hybrid EVs than anyone else, including the best-selling Camry, RAV4, and the all-new Tacoma. Toyota is electrified, diversified, and the choice is yours. Toyota, let's go places.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play, like Bear Dynasty interior paint, their most durable one-coat hide paint ever. From a team color statement wall to a fan cave, complete with a mural honoring Nick Saban's 17-year dynasty.
Hey, I like that idea.
Nothing beats Bear Dynasty interior paint. It's everything you need all in one can.
Defend your game time with Bear and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Valid only when intended to colors from the Bear Dynasty and Marquee Interior one-coat hide color collection.
Hey football fans, with BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second.
BetMGM and GameSense are money to gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only in this U.S. promotional offer. Not available in Mississippi, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
Keep on swiping that card, baby. Keep on swiping that card. Charge it to winning. This is Morning Juice.
Little Tuesday edition of the program. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. And it's time to check in with our great friend.
The best way.
That's not the right thing. That's not the right open for Schlegs. I don't know what happened. My array is down, and it's very confusing. So we're just going to skip. Not going to skip it. Shark's going to play it.
The best best way to start a morning is with a heavy dose of iron. Gas station ready, always. It is Schleg Day.
As we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline, check with our great friend. He is Anthony Schlegel. Schlegs, happy Tuesday, buddy. What's happening?
I am Anthony Schlegel. What's up, Columbus? Live and local, boys. What's up?
How you doing? All right?
I'm doing great. Just and in the armory, gonna get juicy. I'm gonna change it up today. I'm gonna do back. I'm gonna do a heavy Back to the Future Tuesday, where I'm just gonna lift as much iron with as many reps as I possibly can, so that it looks like I have wings. There you go.
You gonna go track down that cricket in the background? Maybe have it for some breakfast protein?
No, doesn't that sound good out here? Like, that's beautiful.
Gosh, that's amazing.
It's a loud cricket, man.
No, it's not just a cricket. It's just nature, right? It's like, wow, that's Nature Stone. You know what I mean? You ever heard that commercial? Remember that?
Wow.
Yeah, it's Nature Stone. Yeah, honestly, it's just quiet. It's good times. All you need is a whiteboard, and you can do a lot of damage out here. Let me tell you.
So, are you just wandering around outside the farm right now?
Yeah, but I'm gonna show my truck door now. That way you guys can hear me better. How about that? That's sexy.
No, I like the nature sound, Schlegs. I think everybody's enjoying, waking up, listening and watching the world wake up.
Like a modern day David Attenborough.
Hey,
this is the best.
I don't know if you saw this. Pete Rose died yesterday, Schlegs, at 83 years young. Let me hear your thoughts on old Charlie Hustle.
All right, Charlie Hustle was Charlie Hustle. I mean, he played the game. If there is a way of playing the game of baseball violently, Pete Rose probably played the game of baseball very, very violently. I like the way. It's funny because Ty Cobb. You read the history books, and Ty Cobb was just an absolute douchebag to everybody. But guy played the game hard. Pete Rose played the game hard. I like that. I remember when I played baseball. I tried to run over. I played a physical brand of baseball when I was young. That's all I knew. Like, just go as hard as you possibly can. It's not like you're out there getting tons of opportunities. You get 3 to 4 at bats a game. Why not go hard? If you get on the bases, why not score? If there's a catcher there, run them over. If there's somebody on the bag they're trying to turn to, throw a cleat in their knee. See if they're going to do that again. Right? I don't know. Probably not politically correct, but he played hard, man. That's it.
He is Anthony Schlegel with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. What did you think of Ohio State's road test against Sparty, Schlegs? 38-7. Maybe some issues to work on the first half. Looked like they were playing base D. Second half, just kind of a boa constrictor, only allowing Michigan State to 60 yards in the final 30 minutes.
Yeah, I like. Listen, guys, we play a great game and we try to play it perfectly, but you're never going to play a perfect game. That's why coaches grade you. You know what I mean? So there's always ways to improve. So just throw that nugget out there for everybody that wants to be super critical. You could have got beat by Kentucky at home. That's terrible. But, there were some explosive plays. We talked with Lathan about it. On the Bobby Carpenter show yesterday, and are there some things for sure? Honestly, probably, people talk about some things ratcheting up for the defense. If there was one thing I probably would like to see, would be on some of the running plays, like meeting linebackers reacting faster and coming downhill at the line of scrimmage, like building the wall. Now, part of that too is Aiden Childs could run. They spread you out a little bit. Now you're a little bit outside of your gap, and now you have that run-pass conflict. But, once they got dialed in after the first couple of series, I thought they played very, very well. And here's the other thing, guys. Yeah, teams are going to be able to move the ball on you. They don't get by BC there at the end of the game. I mean, what were they going into that game? 3-1, right? So potentially 4-0 into that game. They've had an issue turning the ball over. What did the Buckeyes do? They made them turn the ball over, and that's the sign of a great defense. Like, guys, the one takeaway from that game for me was how hard our guys played. And Ryan Day said that's the measuring stick of a game. Like, you want to be the hardest playing team in college football. They play extremely hard. They play extremely violent. You don't have guys blocking on the perimeter, doing pass pro, having a Mecca pull and pancake a Mike linebacker if you're on playing fast and violent. That's just the fact. So I look at those things and the chippiness that they're kind of playing with, and Lathan alluded to it, like, you know, controlled chaos, right? Like the emotions are there, but it's controlled to not impact your team. I love seeing that. Love seeing the way Caleb's playing. Our dude Mitch Milton, Big Mitch, Larry Hoover, right? He came in there, had a sack and a half. JT had a sack.
Hallelujah,
right?
Schlegs.
Hallelujah, man. I mean, honestly, he's the best, dude. So, anyway, it's a lot of, and that's besides the fact of, you know, JJ and Will being able to step up in the pocket and take one right in the ribs. Like, those are things that you want. You know, if you can't play the great teams early, which, again, was not their fault. They were supposed to play Washington. They joined the Big Ten. But those are the things that you want to see as you go through the first four games, right? Are they getting better week in and week out? I think the offense is playing well. I love Seth and the way that he's getting to the second level and playing physical, though he's a highly intellectual person. Because he's up for that one award that Bob knows. That's for the highest scholar athlete in the planet. But a lot of good takeaways from that game.
It's pretty impressive. Like you said, we talk about our guy Seth McLaughlin. I forget what that is.
Is he related? I should ask him if he's related to Sarah.
I think that's actually his aunt. He's a big-time singer, too.
William V. Campbell Trophy.
That's right.
Is what it is.
The Billy V. Campbell Trophy.
Yeah.
That's big time. So you talk all the time about being blue-collar and corn-fed. Mm. And when you're playing the Iowa Hawkeyes, is there a more blue-collar, corn-fed game than that you're going to find?
No. I still remember 2004, Bob. We went to Kinnick Stadium.
Don't bring that up.
Beat 35-7. Now, here's the thing. You guys got to remember, I was born in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. My mom was from Newton, Iowa. My dad was from Dubuque, Iowa. So I grew up a Hawkeyes fan because I was born in Iowa. And, you know, my Uncle Tim, R.I.P., my man, correctional officer, you know, like, he came to the game, right? And my mom, I mean, there was, like, my babysitter when I was 3, because my dad was the head coach at Cove College in Cedar Rapids. Like, that was a big deal for me. And I had a game. I had like 15 tackles in that game. Yeah, why? Because we were on defense the entire game, Bob. Yeah. It was absolutely terrible. But those are the type of games that linebackers love. And again, the things that we see from the deep. And I think here's the reason why everybody is like a little hesitant of that game is because they're seeing these teams run the ball, a.k.a. Ohio State, 185 yards. Guys, we didn't have a lot of plays in that game, though we had the time of possession, like almost 36 minutes to 24. Defensively, we only had 52 snaps. But when you look at that game, you look at the way Iowa runs the football, you look at the way Michigan has ran the football. These teams that are basically one-dimensional have to rely on the run. How are you going to fare? It's going to be a great test for the defense and answering that call. But I will say this, don't forget, they also go against probably the best rushing attack, if that's all we wanted to do that's in the country, with our two running backs and Will week in and week out. So, yes, this is the week where you got to buckle that chin strap a little tighter because it is time, as Coach Nick would say. This game is about toughness, right? Buckle your chin strap a little tighter. It is. I can already hear his pregame. It's amazing.
It's about knocking their junk in the dirt, Schlegs.
Oh, listen. I mean, I kid you not. I can't even remember how old I was when my dad would say that to me. Like, you know, don't forget. Like, my dad had some – Jock Doc had some great nuggets he'd throw out there. What is the one thing he said? It's like, we had like 3 rules in our house. It was All right, respect your elders. Oh yeah, here they are. Here they are. Respect your elders. Don't hang in cliques, and don't take wooden nickels. Your blue collar, corn fed, knock their blank in the dirt. Right? That was it. Like that. And then the last statement was like the exclamation point of the three. And it was respect your elders, treat people with dignity and respect. Don't hang in cliques. Be a person that can be around all people, right? And don't take wooden nickels. Mean like it's never as good as it seems, right? Like don't take something for free. Don't take fake things. Have some awareness about what's going on, and then don't forget who you are. Blue collar, corn fed. So great nuggets there from Jock Doc.
Buddy, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here this morning. Have a great rest of the day. Enjoy your nature this morning, and we'll check in again next week, all right?
Wow, it's Nature's Stone. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, come up and stay classy. Go Bucks beat cancer.
There he goes. Anthony Schlegel with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. One college coach isn't thrilled with his roster. That and quick hitters next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, we are watching crews clear up a crash on I-270 southbound just past the 270-33 split on the southeast side. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors, voted by Columbus homeowners as the leading and most trusted window brand. Find out why at PellaColumbus.com or at their brand new Polaris showroom.
Real people in Ohio are learning more and more about the real Sherrod Brown.
I thought I knew Sherrod Brown, but I didn't know his voting record.
Sherrod voted to let transgender biological men compete in women's sports? What?
And Brown would allow puberty blockers and even sex change surgery for young kids.
For kids? Under Sherrod Brown's spending and inflation, everything is more expensive. Groceries, gas, housing, even electricity. Sherrod sure had me fooled.
He votes a lot differently in D.C. than he talks here.
Washington has clearly changed Sherrod Brown.
Sherrod's not the guy we supported years ago.
Not at all.
And what Sherrod Brown's voting for, it's way too liberal for me.
Sherrod Brown let us down.
Sherrod's changed. That's why we need to change senators.
Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here from Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric, announcing our $99 home preventative maintenance checkup. Carpenter and Bryant will do whatever it takes to get you ready for the fall and winter ahead. Check us out at carpentercolumbus.com. That's carpentercolumbus.com.
We're dealing at Reichert Ford.
$2,500 low price guarantee.
With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Thousands of vehicles are waiting at ReichertFord.com. Get the right car at Reichert. We're dealing.
My kids call me Tom. So unnerving. Every day, the older one's like, "How you doing, Tom?" I go, "Hey, I'm not your stepdad, all right? I wish I was. It'd be a lot easier, but I'm not."
From his multiple Netflix specials, comedian Tom Segura brings his new tour, Come Together, to Schottenstein Center Friday, October 4th. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Tom Segura, Come Together.
We have a lot of football happening. I'm here to help. Set your radio preset to the Fan. Very good. Now set the second one to ESPN Columbus. It's the HD2 button. Lastly, go to the Fan's HD3 and save the Fan 3. Crisis averted. You're welcome.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Is your business generating over $1 million a year in revenue? If your financial advisory team isn't keeping pace, maybe it's time for a change. Here's Brad Hennebert with Premier Advisors.
Thanks, Bobby. Our team integrates financial planning and asset management with business accounting and tax preparation. Business owners have planning needs that are unique. We work with you to design a seamless financial services bundle tailored to your business with monthly or quarterly advisory consultations to help guide you along the way. We don't just keep score of what happened last year. Our team combines expert financial planning and wealth management with top-tier tax services, helping businesses like yours build wealth for you. Call us today at 614-524-4888. That's 614-524-4888.
Brad Hennebert is a registered representative offering securities through United Planners Financial Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through TCP Asset Management LLC. Tax services offered through Premier Tax CPAs. United Planners is not affiliated with TCP Asset Management, Premier Advisors, or Premier Tax CPAs.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today, cloudy, high 79. Heading into tonight, though, it will be quite a bit cooler. Clearing out late tonight with a low of 56. Patchy morning fog on your Wednesday. Otherwise, sunny in the afternoon with a high of 73. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Saturday is game day on The Fan.
Sponsored by Reichert Ford.
Every game, every season, you're home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. What's the going rate for a good babysitter? Also, Shark needs a raise. You're listening to Morning Juice.
We here on The Juice brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can always visit them on the line at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sharky? Yes, sir.
Happy Tuesday to you.
Reporting for duty, sir. There are nine SEC teams ranked this week in the top 25. One of them that isn't ranked is Auburn. Why? Because the Tigers don't have enough talent. Not me saying that. It was actually their coach, Hugh Freeze, where those words came from. Freeze said at his weekly press conference yesterday, well, first he started by throwing his predecessor, Brian Harsin, under the bus, saying, I think you are all aware of what we inherited. and then
they should someone should follow. What exactly is that, Coach?
Well, he followed with throwing his players under the bus, saying, Beamer, the roster was what it was.
Yeah, he literally said, I think you are all aware of what we inherited. Our AD has done a marvelous job of explaining that. He did to me before I took the job. And with the previous recruiting classes not being what you need to compete at a high level, and 57 transfers out in the previous 3 years before my arrival. I won't even comment on what happened before I was here. The roster was what it was. Everybody can make their own determination on that and how many people left in the recruiting rankings and who brought it in. Yeah, that's a nice little shot into your morning espresso if you're an Auburn player, isn't it? I mean, yesterday coming out there, like the roster is what it is, guys transferring in and out. What a disaster. It's going to take us a couple of years to rebuild from out of this. But we want Auburn men moving forward. Like, we think the guys on the team are thinking about that, Bob.
They're thinking our coach doesn't think we're very good.
Yeah.
And part of it is there might
be
some...
And we're not.
And there might be some truth in that. But I'll say this, when Urban went to Ohio State, he's like, don't tell me our players are bad. Coach them up.
Yeah.
Coach them up. And they may not be the most talented players in the world. You may have to improve that. But coach up the guys that are there while you're continuing to recruit. I've never understood throwing your players under the bus because you have to go in and look at those guys again. And, like, when Dan Campbell took over the Lions, like, you didn't hear him, like, crap on the players. And he was like, hey, we're going to get some horses. We're going to continue to improve this roster. Yeah. But never once did he was like, hey, we're not good enough now to win. That's not the case at all.
Yeah, I don't like that tactic at all. By the way, it's not going to get easier for them because they just lost at home against Oklahoma this week, 27-21. Week before that, they lost at home to Arkansas. They have to go to Athens this week where they will play probably a pretty fired-up Georgia Bulldogs team. And then the week after that, they have to go to Missouri. Actually, they have a bye week sandwich in between that. So they get Georgia, they get a bye, then they're at Missouri, and then they're at Kentucky. So 3 straight road games after these comments. Yeah, it's not looking great, but remember this, War Eagle.
Thanks, Meme. I'll remember that. Micah Parsons has never missed a game due to injury. Not in high school, not in college, not in the NFL. but it looks like the streak is about to end. Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy said yesterday that the team is preparing to play Sunday's game without Parsons. An MRI has confirmed the high ankle sprain. And Bobby, Parsons is talking about skipping the next 2 games, which is then followed by a bye week. So he's not going to be back till the end of October.
Well, he's got a high ankle, and they look at this. Like, you're going to be out for a couple of weeks. That would be the smart thing to do. Pair it up with that bye week. That'll give you a full this week, next week, bye week, and maybe even some of the next week. You can get 3.5-ish weeks off. Get you juiced up and ready, like get you back to health. Because if not, that thing's going to linger all season. So it's not worth it. So I would say do that. Can the Cowboys win without him? Well, that remains to be seen.
Well, like Sunday night, they travel to Pittsburgh. Well, they will take on Justin Fields and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that'll be a primetime game on display without Micah Parsons. And then they're at home against the Detroit Lions. So, I mean, that's a tough pack of 2 games to miss. They do have the bye week, and then they're at San Francisco for Sunday night football.
That sounds terrible.
That's a pretty rough 3-game patch.
If they win one of those, that's a pretty good deal.
I think if you go 1-2 in your next 3 games for the Dallas Cowboys, you would be okay with it. If you go 2-1, you would be really thrilled about that situation. I mean, they're sitting at 2-2. Nobody in the NFC East is looking great outside of the Washington Commanders, who look awesome. Like, Eagles not looking great, getting just absolutely raked over the coals against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this week. I think, are they playing in the London game this week? No, that's the Jets. The Jets and the Vikings are in the London game this week. But yeah, anyways, at the Steelers, home against the Lions, without Micah, might be big problems for Big D. We had some sports icons pass away yesterday. We're going to get into that coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, no crashes that we're watching, but things definitely picking up in a couple spots, including on 33 on the southeast side, also on 161 out near Hamilton Road. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
Dormar can be there today, guaranteed. Visit them at dormarhvac.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
APCO, windows, siding, and decks. Business First says we're the largest remodeler in town. Our philosophy is simple. We don't rely on sales gimmicks to get our customers. We rely on our reputation.
Absolutely. You can trust APCO.
APCO.com.
Giant Eagle is making it easy to surround yourself with the sound of freshness. With new low prices on hundreds of your favorite produce items. So you save on all the crunch, all the flavor, all the just pick goodness you love. Surround yourself with savings every time you shop with new low prices on apples, carrots, lettuce, celery, and more. Enjoy fresh savings on fresh produce at your neighborhood Giant Eagle.
Inflation hurts all Ohioans, especially the working class. Just yesterday, it cost almost $500 to fill up my truck. And it's tougher to provide for my family. And Sherrod Brown's making it worse. Brown supported a corporate merger that would lay off union workers and drive up costs. And Brown backed Biden and Kamala's radical inflation act that cost Americans $2 trillion and stuck us with the highest inflation in 40 years. Working class Ohioans can't afford any more of Sherrod Brown. Bernie Moreno and President Trump are standing up for the working class. Together, they will fight to lower inflation, cut prices on gas and groceries, create high-paying jobs, and unleash America's economy. Together, I trust them to fix Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Sherrod Brown's mess. And I trust Bernie Moreno and President Trump to always put America's working class first.
I'm Bernie Moreno, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Bernie Moreno for Senate and NRSC.
At Byers Auto, we've been football fans since 1897, back when tailgates had actual tails. Our legacy of supporting our local team is as strong as our commitment to providing exceptional vehicles. While we're known for our new cars, we also offer a variety of pre-owned vehicles that meet our rigorous standards. Our friendly staff is here to help you find the perfect vehicle for your lifestyle and budget. Visit us in person or shop online at buyersauto.com. Come see why it's better to buy at Byers.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports.
Good morning. I'm Mark the Shark. Pete Rose was a 17-time All-Star Rookie of the Year, National League MVP in 1973, World Series MVP in 75, and holds Major League records for games played, at-bats, hits, and the National League record for longest hitting streak. Rose passed away yesterday at the age of 83. Cause of death hasn't been determined. Baseball's regular season was extended one day to allow the Braves and Mets to play a doubleheader that would determine the 5th and 6th seeds in the National League wildcard race. New York won the opener 8-7 to clinch a spot. And then the Braves took Game 2, 3-0 to also get in. In hockey, the Blue Jackets suffered a 3-2 loss at Washington. Columbus slips to 3-2 in the preseason. We had a doubleheader in Monday Night Football. In Miami, the Titans beat the Dolphins 31-12. In Detroit, the Lions outscored the Seahawks 42-29. The Sports Center is brought to you by Germain Toyota, the best selection of new and used cars in Central Ohio. View their full selection of vehicles online at germaintoyota.net.
In high school, Bobby was a district swimming finalist. Also, Beamer still wears floaties. This is Morning Juice.
Hour number 2 of the program for us on a Tuesday. Brandon Beam, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Coming up here, 7:33 this morning, Steve Helwagen of Bucknuts. He's going to join the program. Talk Ohio State's game against Sparty. What to expect as well this weekend. Buckeyes in the all-gray uniforms against Iowa. What to expect out of that game coming up with Steve around 7:33 this morning. If you miss Schlegel in the 6 o'clock hour, don't worry. 1 hour away from right now, he will reappear. Great stuff from him. A little Buckeye talk, a little Pete Rose talk.
And his 3 life lessons from his dad.
Respect your elders.
Yes.
Don't hang in cliques. And never accept wooden nickels. Which I don't know what that means. He tried to explain it, and I was more confused after he tried to explain it.
So the wooden nickel is like a form of currency that you used to get from banks, and that's what his thing. Like, and they weren't really of as much value as they were allegedly supposed to be. And that's what I think. If it's something's better than it seems, like it's too good to be true. It's like, don't worry about that.
Well, the way that you put it, I understand that. The way he put it, I didn't understand it.
That's the beauty of Schlegel. Yeah. Talks in riddles. He's kind of like the Joker. Yeah.
He's like Gollum and Bilbo in the cave when they're going through the riddles.
When they do the new Batman, like they're doing the Penguin now, they're going to do the Joker series.
Has anybody seen that? Has anybody watched the Penguin yet?
I haven't.
It looks pretty good. Isn't it Colin Farrell?
Yeah, which is amazing, by the way. The makeup to get that done for him.
Yeah, he said he sat in that chair for like 3 hours a day.
That sounds awful. Gosh, that sounds terrible. I hated sitting in the chair at ESPN for 5 minutes, let alone them putting like a rubber face on me.
Yeah.
But Maddie's trying to get Rothman to watch the Batman.
I got out of my silo and I was listening.
Were you listening to that too?
Yeah.
It was a couple of days ago they were talking about it.
The one with Pattinson and then Paul Dano.
I'm going to be honest. I tried to watch it.
It's a dark crime thriller.
I fell asleep twice. Like I wanted to see it, and it was a 3-parter for me. I kept falling asleep.
Nolan just did such a good job with his 3 Batmans.
Christian Bale Batman is basically like David Goggins Batman. Like I mean, he is a raging psychopath. Like his story, the backstory, having Morgan Freeman in it.
Michael Caine.
Was he playing Alfred? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he was awesome as Alfred. Like
Tom Hardy playing Bane, Heath Ledger.
Yeah. They all landed.
Liam Neeson's.
Killian,
Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy playing
The Sandman.
Sandman. I mean, they landed on all of them. Like, it was all so good. And, like, the intensity of the music, it had, like, a real Inception.
It was Hans
feel to it.
Zimmer.
Yes. Like, it was tremendous. The score, the shooting of it. I mean, death or exile, death by exile.
Exile.
I mean,
death by exile.
It was just so good. So, The Batman, I just couldn't get there.
Yeah.
It was just.
It was okay.
It was okay. I just kept falling asleep.
Yeah.
And believe me, I stay up late and I'll watch some movies. You'll reel me in.
How did we get on this conversation?
I don't know. Wood Nichols.
Yeah.
Tell me how that got.
Just got me meandered from
Schlegel
there.
being the Joker.
Yeah.
Just basically like
speaking in riddles.
Speaking in riddles and everything else. But yeah, it was. I just couldn't do it. I tried to watch, and this was due to the fact that I was really tired. But now I'm excited. I haven't watched any of the Rings of Power. I tried to turn them on and watch them after the games on Saturday night. I made it like 10 minutes in, and then I fell asleep. Woke up at 5:30 on the couch.
Where did I go? How many episodes did I watch?
Oh, I'd watched 0. I couldn't even remember watching one. It's like, you know what? I think I watched about 20 minutes, 15 minutes the first one before I got conked out. But, yeah, it'll be good.
Uncle Beau's going to round out the program with us coming up here around 8:33. They have a big announcement today at 10 a.m., so stick around for that.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Titans smoked the Dolphins last night in your first of the double barrel action, 31-12. And then the Lions took down the Seahawks 42-29 in that game. Jared Goff, 18 for 18. And the Titans winning a game because Will Levis went out the first couple series of the game, launched himself for a first down, tried to get it across, didn't end up making the play, and then just didn't reappear in the game. He was on the sideline. He had his helmet on, but he was not back in the game. So Mason Rudolph was your quarterback last night for the Titans.
And they won because of that. Will Levis did throw his complimentary interception, which he's been doing very regularly.
And it was really good, too.
Oh, didn't even see the underneath linebacker. Yeah. Now it wasn't a pick six, which is what he had been doing.
Bummer.
But it was early in the game, so we at least got that out of the way. Jordan in the chat, Scarecrow is who Cillian Murphy played, not the Sandman.
Not the Sandman, okay.
Yeah, Scarecrow. He put the little bag on their head beam, give him some of that crazy.
Well, he was also the one.
It was basically Scarecrow. It was like going to a Diddy party. He'd put that little bag on your head and get some craziness in you.
I liked how they did it in that trilogy, too, because Cillian Murphy came back in the second one, and he was the judge. Like, he was the death or exile. He was
third. No, that was the third one.
Yeah, you're right. That was the Bane one. Yeah, that was with Bane.
But I loved bringing him back. Yeah, you throw that little pixie dust in your face beam. Who knows what it was? Some PCP. It was basically like
It was
basically an airborne Jeffrey.
Everybody was just hallucinating. Did you know? Fun fact about that movie is that
they actually did the drugs.
Is that Joffrey from Game of Thrones is in that movie for a little cameo? Because Gordon, the sergeant's like going
Chief
up.
Gordon,
He is talking to a kid in that movie about something, and it's Joffrey before he became Joffrey on Game of Thrones.
I don't even know if that's a cameo. I mean, that's him going in there and just doing his full life. That's him just trying to hustle.
Well,
and grind,
trying to get a job.
That was before he was Joffrey, before he became one of the most hated villains of all time.
I was watching it a couple of years ago, and I'm like, wait a minute. That's Joffrey.
That's great.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing better than going back and like finding an Easter egg like that. Like, oh, really? How did I not pick it up the first time? Well, because I didn't know who he was the first time. He was just a random little kid.
Yeah, Gary Bateman is Sergeant Gordon too. Like what a cast.
I'm saying. They landed all on.
Yeah, what a cast.
And the writing in it's so good.
Yeah.
It was really, really well done.
Got an MLB wildcard round beginning today. I think first up, Sharky, you get the Astros and the Tigers at like 2:20 or 2:50.
Yeah.
And then you got four games today. Crazy yesterday between the Braves and the Mets in that first game.
Oh my gosh. That was ludicrous.
Yeah, sure was.
Luda.
Braves getting out to a big lead. Mets coming back, plating 4. Braves going back up in the 8th.
Yep.
Going back up in the 7th. Frankie hitting a 2-run bomb to then retake the lead, and then they ended up closing out the game. So that was
that got the Mets in the opener, and then the Braves won the nightcap, so they get in, and Arizona left on the outside.
Yep.
1 year after going to the World Series.
Gosh, all those passionate Diamondbacks fans.
Nowhere to run for them. You get the Crew at home against Miami tomorrow at 7:30. Messi played a full 90 this past weekend, so I would think that he's going to be available for selection. Miami can win the Supporters
Available
Shield.
for selection. What does that even mean?
Yeah, available to be picked for the team because every game you have to pick your team.
Yeah, in the NFL they have that too. It's the players that are active.
Yes, that is true, but there is more limitations on on a soccer team because you can only dress 18 players down from your 23, I think, from your active
Sounds about the
squad.
same. You have 6 guys in the
That's the
NFL
same.
you can't
Yeah,
dress.
he's available for selection.
Why do they call it available
I don't
for
know.
selection?
I don't know.
What does that mean? He's either going to play, they're going to play him or they're not. He's one of the best, at least was one of the best players in the world. Still very, very good. And you're telling me he's available. Dude, if he's healthy, he's going to go.
He's going to play. He's the captain. So you got that tomorrow. They can win the Shield, I think, with a win. So got to stave that off. Got to get your own 3 points tomorrow at home. This is a sad day yesterday in sports. Dikembe Mutombo passed away at 58 years old.
He might have been more endearing after he got done playing with all the commercials he would do.
Oh,
and
the
finger
commercials
wags.
were great. I mean, guys trying to throw a
remember him
cereal.
playing?
No, not really. Guy throws a cereal box into a shopping cart.
Yeah.
No. I mean, yeah. I mean, honestly, that's what I remember Dikembe Mutombo for.
Back a long time ago, in the ancient times, Beam, the NBA playoffs I cared a great deal about, and I'd watch every single game. I knew every player on every team. And Shark would remember this. Was it 95, Sharky? When the Supersonics, led by Gary Payton and Sean
Kemp.
Sean, my favorite dad, Kemp, were upset by the Nuggets as an 8-1. That was the first time that had ever happened.
Only time it's ever happened.
Only time. And they ran this little alley-oop backdoor deal to Dikembe. I couldn't believe it. And when they scored, it was on. I feel like that was the same year of the OJ chase. I'm going to have to look that up.
18 seasons in the NBA.
Yeah, he played forever.
6 or 7 different
Do you know
teams.
where he went to college?
Georgetown.
Good job.
Big East legend.
Yeah,
Big East legend.
They had him and Alonzo Mourning on the same team.
That seems unfair.
Well, I mean, there's 2 pretty good centers back to back.
That doesn't seem
They
like it should be
had
allowed.
Patrick Ewing, Alonzo Mourning, and Dikembe Mutombo over a period of 8 or 9 years. I'm I don't know.
How does that work?
Well, I mean, they were good. That's back when they were the Hoyas, dude. Not now.
Not now. They're just
a random team out
They
of
won
Washington.
their first conference game in 2 years this last season.
They were so good when we were growing up.
Now they're so bad. Obviously, big news from yesterday, too, locally within the state.
Hustle, man.
Charlie Hustle, Pete Rose, gone at 83 years old. I mean, growing up as a kid, I'm from Dayton. My dad's a big Reds fan, so then therefore he's set me up for life as being a Reds fan. So I never got to really experience the Pete Rose era, but what that guy meant to the sport, obviously the hit king, Bob, everything that went on with him, running catchers over the plate, then you had the Pete Rose on the baseball diamond, and then you had the Pete Rose off the baseball diamond.
Both are great. I mean, they're just great for different reasons. Here's the thing I'll never understand. I know we're up against it. We'll get Shark's take on this after the break. But he gets the lifetime ban in 90. I mean, Bart Giamatti, I want to punch him. If he wasn't already dead, I'd punch him in the mouth. This dude, he did some terrible stuff. He admitted 14 years later to betting on baseball. I understand he accepted the lifetime ban, and that's where everybody comes down on it. But at some point, I believe, in a society of second chances and redemption, Pete Rose wasn't going to go back and coach a team.
Yeah.
Pete Rose wasn't going to do anything. As a 78, 80-year-old man, let the dude in the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame is a museum. It's a story. And I understand that he bet on the game. And I understand how sacrilegious that is. For someone who played sports for a living, I can't imagine ever doing that. Whether to win or lose, props, whatever the hell it is. I couldn't imagine doing it. But at some point, I looked at a guy who was such a great player, who his life had then become kind of a mockery of what it was. And this was one of the greatest baseball players of all time. Mm-hmm. And I tease Shark back and forth about the numbers in baseball and everything else. I mean, the guy was the hit king. He's the hit king. And I'm not telling you to make him commissioner. I'm not saying have a parade for him. But at some point when he's 80 years old, can you put the guy in? The guy's dead now. And this is my problem, like, with the NFL. And, like, we'll put these guys in, like, posthumously, like, and, like, they're dead. Like, so what, their family gets to enjoy it? Like, let the dude have a little piece for the last couple years of his life. What, they think he was going to live to 110? I mean, I don't know. Like, it's very frustrating to me to see this. And now I was hoping at some point that they would maybe put him in before he passed. And now that opportunity has since moved on with his passing. And we can talk about this and talk about all the good and all the bad, just like we would have the same way as if he would have went in.
We're going to get Shark's thoughts on this next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, no crashes on the map to tell you about, but watching things pick up on 33 out in Plain City and on 161 near New Albany. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Direct auto insurance is for uncompromisers, like Matt. When his old car insurance got so expensive, do you think he walked until his sneakers wore out? No, because he found savings with Direct Auto so he could drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com or a store near you. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Trust and Will knows that we'll all eventually need a will. How about right now? Trust and Will makes creating your will easy, like while you're lounging on the couch easy. Trust and Will is designed by attorneys but customized by you, and all documents are state-specific and secure. Find your plan at trustandwill.com and use offer code Columbus now for 10% off. That's trustandwill.com, offer code Columbus. Trust and Will is an online service providing legal forms and information. It is not a law firm and is not a substitute for the advice of an attorney.
Combat falling interest rates now. Lock in a 7-month certificate from Kemba Financial Credit Union and earn up to 4.75% annual percentage yield. Visit Kemba.org for details. Hurry! This exceptional rate offer expires December 31st, 2024. APY equals annual percentage yield. Restrictions apply. $500 minimum deposit required to open and earn stated APY and $250,000 maximum deposit. Advantage status required. Federally insured by NCUA.
Common Man and T-Bone here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
We love that place so much, Mike. We're going back again to do a live broadcast.
Friday, October 11th. Be there, be a loser. 3 to 6. That's what time the show is.
I mean, we're losers for being on the show, but you can hang out with us and not be a loser.
We have lots of prizes to give away, including hockey tickets, and we're talking about the big football game they're going to be playing the next day.
Plus, we'll have a fan prize pack given away every hour of the show and stickers.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Common Man and T-Bone are known for many things. And while great radio ain't one of them, shoving food down their gullets is their specialty. Join Man and Bone for Fat Boy Food Tip.
Live at 3 or on the podcast.
Your home for fat. The Fan.
Real people in Ohio are learning more and more about the real Sherrod Brown.
I thought I knew Sherrod Brown, but I didn't know his voting record.
Sherrod voted to let transgender biological men compete in women's sports? What?
And Brown would allow puberty blockers and even sex change surgery for young kids.
For kids? Under Sherrod Brown's spending and inflation, everything is more expensive. Groceries, gas, housing, even electricity. Sherrod sure had me fooled. He votes a lot differently in D.C. than he talks here. Washington has clearly changed Sherrod Brown.
Sherrod's not the guy we supported years ago.
Not at all.
And what Sherrod Brown's voting for, it's way too liberal for me.
Sherrod Brown let us down.
Sherrod's changed. That's why we need to change senators.
Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton.
ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at onnradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network.
If a friend asks how you're doing,
And you say,
I'm okay.
when the truth is,
I don't want my problems to burden anyone.
or you say,
hang it in there.
because,
If I ask for help, they'll just think I'm weak.
then this is your sign to call, text, or chat 988 for free, confidential support. Anytime. You don't have to hide how you feel.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We do have a 30% chance of rain today. Otherwise, expect partial clearing this afternoon. High 79. 73 on Wednesday under partly cloudy skies. Thursday looks like the pick of the week. We're going 77 with plenty of blue skies. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
One of these guys thinks Clintonville was named after Bill Clinton. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Well, Tuesday edition of the program. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Coming up here 7:33 this morning, Steve Helwagen of Bucknuts. He's going to join the program. I'll call things Ohio State's performance against Michigan State. Before we move further into the program.
Oh, you hear the sound, you know. It's a Tuesday. It's an appetizer Tuesday. Oh, boy, on October 1st. It's got a great appetizer for you at the
Tell me
Rooster.
about
It's going to be $3, and it's going to be a fried pickle bean. They're terrific. Pickles cut, breaded, and fried in delicious chips served with Rooster's homemade ranch dressing. We think they're a big deal.
Does it say that there, or is that your thing?
Would you like it better if it was improv or if it was written down?
Improv.
It's written down. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I wish I could claim
it's
that.
Meredith's favorite, the pickle.
The fried. I like pickles a little bit, but I do like them fried, especially. Throw them with some ranch, maybe some spicy ranch. Go bold beam. They're delicious. They're tasty. They're $3 all day long at Roosters. About an hour from now, we're going to be giving away a $50 Roosters gift card if you can answer That's What He Said. So stay locked in for us there. And also, if you go to roosterswings.com or check the QR code on their napkins, they've got the Buckeye giveaway. October 7th, they're having their next group of winners announced. There's still time to get in and register. Some great prizes, tickets, game stuff, all kinds of cool things in there. And then there'll be a last group of winners pulled the first week of November. So make sure you get over there, folks, and check them out.
Pete Rose passing away at 83 years old yesterday. You know, Bob and I have our thoughts on it. Shark, you're the baseball expert here.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean,
but listen, I don't know about that.
I'm an expert.
Of all three of us, you would get the expert title.
You would get your doctorate in baseball. Just your thoughts yesterday on Pete Rose passing away at 83.
Well, unfortunately, as great as he was, he kind of became a
parody
cartoon character in his post-baseball life.
Out in Vegas, signing autograph, like the whole thing.
And I'll be anxious to find out what he died from, because he was just doing a card show over the weekend.
A broken heart, Shark.
He did have a broken heart, and leaned into that. I never viewed Pete as being a victim, maybe a victim of his own stupidity, because he put himself in that situation. And I saw somebody last night on social media talking about shame on the Hall of Fame, because the Hall of Fame had tweeted out their condolences or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And
I don't want their condolences.
Well, it's
not a Hall of Fame issue.
It's not a Hall of Fame issue. He's not even eligible for the Hall of Fame. And that's separate from
it's a major league
baseball.
It's a major league baseball issue.
It's I would say
this,
it's a commissioner.
Okay. Well, the commissioners
issue.
of the baseball have always been D-bags.
Well, I mean,
all of them.
And this goes back to the first commissioner, Judge Landis, who banned the White Sox players.
Yes.
And
Shoeless Joe?
Shoeless Joe.
He's not in the Hall.
And he should be. But that was the precedent set, and it's never been changed. And all these commissioners have come along since then. And it's not like Pete Rose is on the ballot. He's not even eligible to be. It's not like, Bonds and Clemens and those guys.
This.
Those guys are on the ballot. They're not banned. The writers just won't vote him in. Rose doesn't have a chance. So it's going to take a commissioner, and I think eventually he will get it. long after I die, probably all those guys will get in because there will be somebody that comes along and, sympathizes.
The guy's dead. He can't get any joy from this now.
Right.
What are we talking about?
It's a little bit like Joe Jackson, who was illiterate, never made it past the 3rd grade, and there are those from back then that contend he never even knew what he was doing. He had the best World Series of anybody on the field that year. He hit the only home run in that World Series, and yet he was banned for life. Pete was he was so diligent about professing his innocence in this, and like Bobby said, he took the lifetime ban. He agreed to the lifetime ban. And I always thought, well, why would you agree to something if you didn't do it? And then, of course, it took a long time for him to
14
finally
years.
come clean.
I was reading this article from Bob Nightingale of USA Today, and I think it's a really good piece if you want to go and read it. And here's a little excerpt from it. It said, the cold-hearted truth is that Rose was always painfully aware that he might have to be dead to be inducted. This way, Major League Baseball would never again have to worry about what he said, what he did, or where he gambled. He can't embarrass the game from the grave. Who knows if Commissioner Rob Manfred and MLB would ever consider reinstating Rose with the Hall of Fame, putting him on its era committee ballot for voters to decide. So then again, Shoeless Joe, who helped the White Sox in the 1919 World Series, is still not in the Hall of Fame. Bob Crotty, who we talked to, grew up in Cincinnati, fan of the game, said it always bothered him that he'd see these other people in who did things that they shouldn't have, and they'd be in. And he became close to Rose the past 15 years. He always talked about that. He always just wanted to be on that ballot. And so, it weighed on him, and he knew that it was basically a ticking clock, that in order for him to get in, his life would have to end.
Yeah, I don't know, because
that's a hard thing to keep.
Of course it is.
Because if he was going in front of the committee, and let's say they lifted the ban, I still don't know if he'd get in. Now,
I'd go to those writers' house. I'd start harassing them.
There will be a veterans committee, an old timers committee that comes along, a group of 12 guys instead of 700 guys that will.
There's 700 people that write about baseball.
I don't know what. Well, there's more than that. I
don't know if there's more than that, sure.
You have to be a beat writer for 10 years.
BBWAA.
Baseball Writers Association of America. To become a member, you have to have covered the sport for 10 years as a beat writer. So there are guys on there who have covered baseball for 40 years that are still electing Hall of Fame members. They're pretty stern, let's say, when it comes.
Pretty sticky.
Yeah, and they've softened at times. I think Bonds got up to 45% of the vote. It takes 75% to get in. And I think as they get younger and younger and we distance ourselves from the past, like I said, there will be sympathetic people that will put those guys in.
I don't know. How'd that work for Shoeless Joe?
Right. Because, again, this is different from the steroid era because those guys are eligible. The gamblers aren't. The guys who were banned from baseball aren't eligible. But, Bob, we live in a world of rules, and sometimes you got to follow those rules.
Do we live in a world of rules? Because I don't think we do anymore. There's been a lot of gray.
Let me just say this then. As a parent, you give your kid a 11 o'clock curfew and they show up at midnight.
Yeah.
You let them get away with it?
No, I take them in the house and I execute them. I didn't say, dude, the guy, my point is, let them get away with it. When the dude turned 80 years old, I think it was probably time, hey, Pete, why don't we go out and make a public statement about everything that you've done? Apologize one more time, profess it all, and we'll put you in right here, and you can live the last 3 or 4 or 5 years of your life.
You put it on the plaque.
And you put it on, it's going to be on your plaque that you bet in baseball.
Yeah. Right.
And that's how you get in. Are you good with that?
Yeah.
And you let the guy have a little bit of peace before he dies. That's kind of where I come down on that.
Yeah.
If they want to wait for a while with Bonds and McGuire and all those guys, and you got to accept the fact that you did. That's part of your story.
Yeah.
And I think that if they did that, I'm fine with it. But at some point, your parents, If your kid comes late for curfew, you don't take him in the house and execute him.
No,
you punish him, and then hopefully at some point there's been a lesson and example set.
I'm just saying there are rules, and when you break the rules,
I know.
you have to suffer the consequences. And he knew what the rules are. Now, sometimes they don't suffer consequences. Michigan.
I'm saying
Michigan's giving its football team a bye, and so is the NCAA so far, and so has the NFL for that matter. But I just think you go into the locker room and and I've seen these signs.
They have them in every Shark. They're in every professional
NFL
sport
as well.
Oh yeah, don't bet on it.
He knew what was wrong. He knew what it would mean if he got caught. He
so
knew
here's the thing.
Would keep him from the.
These
Hall
guys
of
have bet on these games and stuff in the NFL. And like they've got a year ban or something like that. Like, I'm not saying there needs to be no punishment. I'm talking about the guy.
A lifetime.
It's 24 years later and the guy died.
Yeah.
Steve Helwagen of Bucknuts. He's going to assess Ohio State's road performance against Sparty with us next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning here on your Tuesday morning. No crashes that we're watching right now. We are seeing things pick up on the southeast side on 33 and on 161 near New Albany. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Dormar, your kind of hero.
Dormar can be there today, guaranteed. Visit them at dormarhvac.com.
With so much in one place, Meijer is the only stop you'll need to make. Save big with weekly deals going on now. Like California red or black seedless grapes, only $1.49 per pound. Fresh from Meijer 80% lean ground beef, just $4.99 a pound. And Meijer shredded, sliced, or chunk cheese, 3 for $6. You can always count on low prices and great quality at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See these deals and more in-store or in the Meijer app.
At Byers Auto, we've been football fans since 1897, back when tailgates had actual tails. Our legacy of supporting our local team is as strong as our commitment to providing exceptional vehicles. While we're known for our new cars, we also offer a variety of pre-owned vehicles that meet our rigorous standards. Our friendly staff is here to help you find the perfect vehicle for your lifestyle and budget. Visit us in person or shop online at buyersauto.com. Come see why it's better to buy at Byers.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward. Thanksgiving's coming up fast, so while you're counting your blessings, why not add a thankful 30 to the list? With Awaken 180 weight loss, you could drop 30 pounds by Thanksgiving, or even 40 if you get the same results I did. I dropped my first 30 pounds in just over a month, and let me tell you, it's a game changer. Imagine this, while everyone else is debating the play calling in the big games, you're sitting at the dinner table feeling lighter, more energetic, and thankful for the 30 pounds no longer holding you back. If I can drop 55 pounds with Awaken 180, I know you can hit the thankful 30 by Turkey Day. It's simple. It's laid out for you. And as you all know by now, it doesn't include a lifetime of medications. That's why I chose Awaken 180. Be thankful this year by dropping your 30 or more pounds. Head to awaken180weightloss.com and reserve your consultation today. It's fast, proven, and as you all know, the weight will stay off thanks to free support for life. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app, or listen at home on your smart speaker, or open up the iHeartRadio app, or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the Dopes at The Fan.
All right. Protect yourself, Ohio. Get your shots for COVID and flu today. A message from the Ohio Departments of Health and Aging.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
My kids call me Tom. So unnerving. Every day, the older one's like, "How you doing, Tom?" I go, "Hey, I'm not your stepdad, all right? I wish I was. It'd be a lot easier, but I'm not."
From his multiple Netflix specials, comedian Tom Segura brings his new tour, Come Together, to Schottenstein Center Friday, October 4th. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Tom Segura, Come Together.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling, 1-800-COOLING.
At the Home Depot, we know you can't control everything, like when your guests arrive too early for Saturday college football. But you can control your grill. With the Traeger Timberline XL, you can watch the game, not the grill. Monitor your football feast from anywhere using the Traeger app. With the Timberline XL, you can bake, smoke, sear, fry, and sauté. That's Desmond Howard level versatility.
Huddle up, the food's done.
Defend your game time with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
If you make a wisecrack about Dayton pizza, Beamer will murder you dead.
Humor. I have it too.
This is Morning Juice.
Well, Tuesday edition of the program. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark coming up 1 hour away from right now. Uncle Beau, he's going to join the program. We'll talk some Browns with him. For now, we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Checking with our good friend of Bucknuts. He is Steve Helwagen. Steve, thanks for the time, buddy. Always appreciate it. I know you're a big Reds fan. Follow the team. Just your thoughts yesterday on Pete Rose passing away at 83.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That I got to tell you, I'm 56 years old. So when I'm 8 years old, they win the World Series twice, 75 and 76, and it was a different time. We didn't have every game on television. You got to watch maybe 1 or 2 games a week, and you listen to it on the radio. I'd fall asleep in bed listening to the West Coast games. It was just. Pete Rose was everything. He was the Cincinnati Reds. He was the franchise, because he was from Cincinnati, the all-time hits leader. It was a dark day when they let him walk away in free agency to the Phillies. The Reds wouldn't give him a contract to come back. Dick Wagner, the GM, didn't like him, and they sent him away. And that was the end of the era, basically, when they let him walk away. Then it was the hero's welcome, hero's return in, 84. They bring him back because they've been terrible for several years. Comes back as a player manager and gets a triple in his first at bat, returning. Next year, gets the hits record, and that's amazing. And they had 4 straight second-place finishes with him as the manager. And then he gets drummed out in August of 89 with the gambling. Which we could talk about that for days if we wanted to, but they turned the team over to Lou Piniella in 1990. All the guys that Pete groomed, Eric Davis, Barry Larkin, Chris Sabo, Paul O'Neill from right here in Columbus, they win the World Series. He wins the World Series with Pete's guys the next year, and never does get to go in the Hall of Fame while he was alive. And, just so much you could say. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I listened or watched every game for years, and he was always in the leadoff spot, played 162 games almost every year. I don't know what else to say. Just a sad day, and of course, he brought a lot of his problems on himself. So that's kind of the way it was.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's like Steve I was looking at him like at some point I was hoping they would put him in before he passed away so he could at least enjoy it for a handful of years. I think he had been punished long enough.
Yeah, they made their point. They had made their point that what he had done was wrong. You now have an industry that embraces gambling, and they have an official partner that's a sports book. So I think they'd made their point that what he had done was wrong. 35 years they held him out, and I don't know. At some point it should have been rectified. But, whatever.
And so as we move past on that, and as we remember, Pete, on this day, your memories and thoughts of Saturday night up in East Lansing. And more
happier thoughts.
Little happier thoughts. I mean, I don't know. People were pretty upset with maybe the first quarter, but once the defense settled in, they seemed to look a lot better in the second half. And in all honesty, I mean, they stopped. People wanted more turnovers. Well, they got more turnovers, so they're able to meet that. Just gave up some explosive plays and a couple of drives.
Yeah, I agree. I think that we were joking up there that they're going to become known as the bend but don't break defense, and you don't want to be known as that because when you play a great team down the line, you're going to break. So, you don't want to be known as that. But, at least they rallied to the football. And I think that was something that they did get right, that they were able to knock the ball away from the tight end and the quarterback in the red zone. I mean, they get critical turnovers in the red zone. They had a fourth down stop. That looked like Bobby Carpenter flying over the top on fourth down to stop the quarterback on the sneak. Ryan Shazier had a play like that at Wisconsin one time, I think, very similar to the running back, stopped him at the goal line. And, great instinctive play by Simon. And Simon said that they had figured that was their play in the short yardage was to go with the quarterback, and the quarterback, caught him off guard a few times with some good plays. So tip your cap to the opponent. Michigan State's not a bad team. They were 3-1 coming in, and Ohio State dominated them from about the middle of the second quarter on. They just absolutely dominated Michigan State. I'm not sure if you were on the team. There was a similar game to this up there in the 2000s. Ohio State led 24-7 at halftime, and the Tigers were playing baseball in the playoffs. And we just watched a mass exodus of people headed to higher ground to go watch the baseball game, and that's basically what happened the other night at Spartan Stadium, almost identical, 24-7 at halftime.
Steve, did it feel like to you that this offense, I mean, the Will Howard pick is the worst one of the year. I thought I'd like to see him release the ball about a half a second earlier, maybe, on some of these decisions and these throws that he's making. But did it seem to you on Saturday night that Ohio State's offense could kind of do what they wanted to? Because it seemed like everybody was pretty engaged.
Yeah, once again, I think the offensive line is playing for something that was such a liability, everybody thought going into the season. I think they're playing pretty good football right now, and they're kind of setting the tone. And I just think that, they didn't run the ball for a ton of yards up there, but I think that it was more than adequate. And certainly, as I said, from, the middle of the second quarter on, they were hitting on about all the cylinders. The plays right before halftime, I mean, that just defies description, what we saw from Jeremiah Smith. He made two of the greatest catches you'll ever see, about 4 plays apart. And he climbed the ladder on the first one and brought it in. And then on the second one, when Devin Brown had to go in the game, he just puts his right paw up in the air and plucks it out of the air and glides into the end zone like it's a Tuesday walkthrough, and there's nobody out there but him and Devin Brown. It was just and that's not true, because Travion Henderson earned his money on Saturday night, and figuratively speaking, he picked up several blitzes, I think, including one on that play and one on the Buca touchdown later on. He picked up the blitz on both those plays. And if he doesn't, pick up that blitzer, Michigan State had a great blitz package, really put a lot of pressure on the quarterbacks. And Henderson did a, great running back, but, the pass protection part of it, he got an A+ that night. That was pretty good.
He absolutely did. And Emeka was throwing blocks too. Carnell and Jeremiah doing their jobs off the ball. It was pretty impressive. Steve, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here this morning, buddy. Have a fantastic rest of the day. Thanks for sharing some Pete stories, and we'll check in again soon, all right?
Yep. Take care, guys.
There you go. Steve Helwagen of Bucknuts with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline.
All right, let's talk about taking care of yourself and the ones you love. As we age, our bodies naturally lose testosterone that can affect you in multiple ways: sleep, mood swings, muscle mass loss, weight gain, all these things that make your life a little bit more difficult. These symptoms of low testosterone will affect those around you. It's time to go see my folks at Affinity Whole Health. They're the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. Affinity can help you optimize your testosterone levels to alleviate these symptoms. They also have semaglutide available for weight loss, so you can lose weight, feel good. Whatever season of life you're in, Affinity will help you feel great again. So go to feelgreatcolumbus.com and get your free consultation. That's free. feelgreatcolumbus.com.
We're going to get juice next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning here on your Tuesday morning. No crashes that we're watching right now. We are seeing things pick up on the southeast side on 33 and on 161 near New Albany. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
At Kroger Pharmacy, CARE is making it easy to get vaccinated. CARE is helping you stay protected from flu, COVID, and RSV. Seasonal vaccines are available 7 days a week with evening hours. CARE is giving you a shot at staying healthy this season. Walk in whenever is best and get multiple vaccines in one visit at your local Kroger pharmacy. So come and get the protection you need while protecting those around you. Kroger Health, a world of care is in store. Visit Kroger.com/vaccines for more. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See site for details.
Real people in Ohio are learning more and more about the real Sherrod Brown.
I thought I knew Sherrod Brown, but I didn't know his voting record.
Sherrod voted to let transgender biological men compete in women's sports? What?
And Brown would allow puberty blockers and even sex change surgery for young kids.
For kids? Under Sherrod Brown's spending and inflation, everything is more expensive. Groceries, gas, housing, even electricity. Sherrod sure had me fooled.
He votes a lot differently in D.C. than he talks here.
Washington has clearly changed Sherrod Brown.
Sherrod's not the guy we supported years ago.
Not at all.
And what Sherrod Brown's voting for, it's way too liberal for me.
Sherrod Brown let us down.
Sherrod's changed. That's why we need to change senators.
Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
The Central Ohio leader in roof repair and replacement is Roof Revivers. With over 350 five-star reviews on Google, Roof Revivers is committed to repairing roofs first before replacing them. If your roof needs repaired, visit Roof Revivers online at roofrevivers.com. Roof Revivers, we fix leaky roofs.
Does your vehicle need maintenance, but you don't have time? Krieger Ford's got you covered. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or we come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today, only at KriegerFord.com.
If you're obsessed with fantasy sports and gambling things, we have the slightly above average radio show for you. On the Money with Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas.
Presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Wednesday night at 8 on The Fan.
Trust and Will knows that we'll all eventually need a will. Eventually. How about right now? Trust and Will makes the process of creating your will easy. Like while you're lounging on the couch, easy. Visit trustandwill.com and use offer code Columbus for 10% off your plan. Designed by attorneys, but customized by you, one question at a time. Trust and Will offers a step-by-step process, and all documents are state-specific, legally valid, and secure. So you know your future is protected with peace of mind at trustandwill.com. Visit trustandwill.com and use offer code Columbus now for 10% off. That's trustandwill.com, offer code Columbus. Trustandwill.com. Trust and Will is an online service providing legal forms and information. It is not a law firm and is not a substitute for the advice of an attorney. Documents are not valid until formally executed in accordance with applicable law.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
you? Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BREAK to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BREAK to 321-321. That's BREAK to 321-321.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today, cloudy, high 79. Heading into tonight, though, it will be quite a bit cooler. Clearing out late tonight with a low of 56. Patchy morning fog on your Wednesday. Otherwise, sunny in the afternoon with a high of 73. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Bobby is known as the General. Beamer is known as Beamer. This is Morning Juice.
Well, Tuesday edition of the program. Brandon Beam, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Right now, let's get juiced.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Sharky, this guy's going to reappear here in about 15 minutes around 8:05. What Schleg's got to say here?
Fluff me up in my intellect. That's just what we need. Bunch of fluffers. You like how I said that, just kind of really nonchalant? I didn't want to get too juiced on that. I really wanted it to sink in.
Like how I was nonchalant. Let me bring it back up in conversation.
Make it obvious.
What is a fluffer, by the way?
Don't know. Why don't you Google it?
It's a facilitator, Shark.
A facilitator.
Someone who
I like that.
Someone who warms you up.
I also liked on YouTube chat today, Brandon, not Brandon Beam, but another Brandon, reminded me that the Minster Oktoberfest is this weekend, and I need reminded by you. Where is Minster?
It's in Minster. It's right by St. Henry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm real close. Probably not going to make it then.
Oh, it's great.
Megan went to bed last night early, like at halftime, and
of which game?
Of the second game, she had I don't know what it was, 11% chance of winning fantasy this week.
She have Kenneth Walker.
She had Amon Ra, and so he threw a touchdown pass. And she ended up winning by like a point or two. And so I was excited to text her and let her know she won. So when she got up this morning, she had that. Megan is 4-0.
Nice.
In fantasy. She's leading our league.
I should have been 4-0. The Roth dog last night was down by 30.1 points to me. And Kenneth Walker had 3 touchdowns on 12 carries.
Yeah.
And he ended up beating me by 0.3 points.
Oh.
Yeah. I got Rothman.
That is painful.
So I'm on the opposite side of what Megan is on this morning.
Yeah, that's the tough thing about fantasy football. It's not over till it's over. And then I got to say this. We've got 18 teams now in the Big Ten. So Ohio State, despite being the best team in the Big Ten, doesn't get, offensive player of the week, defensive player of the week, freshman of the week. But we finally got an award yesterday. Jeremiah Smith finally did win Freshman of the Week in the Big Ten.
Who else has been winning it?
I know. Why don't you just pencil in his name every week, because he's unbelievable. 5 passes at Michigan State for 83 yards and a touchdown, also ran for a touchdown. I believe he has the 4th most receiving yards among freshmen in Ohio State history, and he's 4 games into his career. So that had me juiced. Robert?
Oh, goodness. We had a nice little Monday night special football game last night. Cullen hadn't played, my 5th grader, for a while. He got the ankle taped up, played last night. They got a big win, really good team, 8-6, real rock fight beam.
Defensive battle.
Not a lot of scoring, a lot of tough kids, a lot of banging out there. They played on a slippery surface because they hadn't felt rain in so long, so there's a little bit of dampness. Guys were sliding around, complaining.
Why is the grass wet?
Exactly. I'm like, get used to it. I know that you haven't felt this forever. Normally we play on turf for games, but it was a lot of fun. Was nervous heading in, and he played well, and iced his ankle afterwards, and going through all that. And then I woke up my oldest son, RJ, who, you know what, God bless him. He swims and plays football. They're 2 pretty demanding sports, and swimming's starting up. So I said, hey, bud, you guys got to start getting some training in. So he went to swim practice this morning at 5:30, dropped him off on the way in, and then he'll be going to football practice after school, Shark. at home. Mowed the grass last night after Cullen's game, so he's on the grind and proud of how hard he's working. Yeah, I tell my kids, it's not. I'm never proud of your results. I'm proud of how you play and how you prepare, and the way you go about it. That's the thing that's important. The process, everybody talks about it. It becomes cliche, but the process is far more important than the outcome. If you do things the right way, enough and all the time, the good things will happen for you to eventually get to where you need to go. Shark, how long is the Pete Rose cut?
127.
Let's play that real quick.
And here comes the main attraction. And they're on their feet. Rose walking toward the plate. The most famous number 14 in the history of this game. And trying to make history right here in the first inning tonight. He levels the bat a couple of times. Shao kicks and he fires. Rose swings.
There it is. There it is. Get out. Get out. All right.
Hit number 4192. A line drive single into left center field. A clean base hit. And it is pandemonium here at Riverfront Stadium. The fireworks exploding overhead. The Cincinnati dugout has emptied. The applause continues unabated. Rose completely encircled by his teammates at first base. And Rose now recognizing this outpouring of affection from the standing room only crowd as he turns a complete circle, waving and doffing his batting helmet to the crowd. And the folks on this date, September the 11th, certainly have not been disappointed one iota. I'll tell you what, there's never been a hometown athlete more loved by the residents, the natives of that city than Pete Rose is loved by the people of Cincinnati, Ohio.
So, Shark, before we get to you, I apologize. That was the first pitch of the game in which he could do it, correct? Did he hit the opening pitch?
You know what? That clip you sent me, I don't know if it was edited.
I don't think that it was.
If it was the first pitch. It would have been the first pitch in the bottom of the first, though.
The bottom
of the first.
Not the first pitch. But I think it was the first pitch that he saw, and if it would have been their first pitch, like that's what I'm saying. Like, the guy, he did his first at bat, regardless.
Yeah,
and it didn't make the folks wait. Charlie Hustlebeam.
Yeah, the one of the cooler parts is that in Cincinnati, you know how everyone's got like a code for their bank code or garage or whatever. Like Cincinnati, if you bank it, I think Fifth Third is a Cincinnati bank. It's a big one down there. They will tell you that you cannot use the code 4192 because it is too easy. It's too easy to guess. So yeah, that's got me juiced, Bob. That was pretty amazing. What else has me juiced is that Schlegel, he's going to reappear next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and happy Tuesday to you. Right now, no crashes that we're watching, but watching things pick up on I-70 on the east side and on 33 coming in from Canal Winchester. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan traffic.
Dormar, your pilot hero.
Dormar can be there today, guaranteed. Visit them at dormarhvac.com.
At APCO Windows, there's no 35% off sales, no buy one, get one free, just our best bottom line price. So get multiple estimates. Just make sure one is from APCO.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can trust APCO.
APCO.com.
Jeremy Foltz, CEO and co-founder of 3C Technology Solutions, speaks about working with First Bank of Central Ohio.
I think FBCO had a really nice personal touch. Transition was really easy and much cleaner than I thought it would be. Some very specific things that made me very excited to work with them are availability and creativity.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Hey folks, Bobby Carpenter here. I picked up my brand new Toyota Tundra last week and I absolutely love it from my guy Marcello at Germain Toyota. And right now, you can lease the powerful Toyota Tundra SR5 for just $409 per month. That's 36 months, 10,000 miles per year. Built to handle tough jobs and thrilling journeys. The Toyota Tundra SR5 is the ultimate companion for work and play. These deals are rolling out fast, so don't wait. Visit Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net. Offer ends soon. See dealer for details.
After 31 years in Washington, just how much has Sherrod Brown changed? When he first wanted our vote, he said this.
My allegiance will be to Ohio and to the communities in Ohio.
To Ohio? Sherrod Brown voted for amnesty for 11 million illegal immigrants. And he voted to give them taxpayer-funded benefits, like free health care to illegals who get amnesty, Social Security checks, COVID relief checks, all to be paid for by you. And Sherrod Brown's open border policies have led to more fentanyl, dangerous gangs, even terrorists pouring into our country. So when Sherrod Brown says this,
my allegiance will be to Ohio and to the communities in Ohio.
Don't listen to what Sherrod Brown says. Watch what he does. Because Sherrod Brown doesn't vote for Ohio anymore. He's way too liberal for Ohio. American Crossroads paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. AmericanCrossroads.org.
Columbus, the wait is over. Blue Jackets hockey is back. Come feel the boom all season long. Be here Tuesday, October 15th for the home opener, presented by Nationwide. Get your tickets today at BlueJackets.com.
Great game. You got into the end zone again and again. How'd it feel?
Awesome. Like getting a new iPhone again and again. I just got the new iPhone 16 Pro today.
Really?
Yeah. And with AT&T Next Up Anytime, I can upgrade early every year.
Very nice.
Feel like an MVP again. Learn how to get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us and the latest iPhone every year with AT&T Next Up Anytime. AT&T. Connecting changes everything. Offer subject to change. Additional fees, terms, and restrictions apply. $0 offer may not be available on future iPhones. Next Up Anytime feature may be discontinued at any time. See att.com/iPhone for details.
We all know breakfast is an important part of your day. But sometimes when you're traveling for business, you end up staying at a hotel that doesn't offer any. You know what happens? You grab a cup of coffee and skip the meal entirely. We've all been there. But if you book a room at La Quinta by Wyndham, you can enjoy their free Bright Side breakfast featuring delicious baked goods, fruit, eggs, yogurt, and waffles. And really, who doesn't want to start their day with a fresh, hot waffle? Tonight, La Quinta, tomorrow you shine. Book direct at lq.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Mark. The Shark Baseball's all-time hit leader has passed away. Pete Rose died yesterday in Nevada, but cause of death hasn't been determined. He was 83 years old. Rose's 4,256 career hits broke Ty Cobb's record, but later as manager of the Reds, he was banned from baseball after an investigation determined he had bet on the game. In hockey, the Blue Jackets are 3-2 in the preseason after losing at Washington 3-2. Columbus visits St. Louis tonight. Our coverage begins at 7:45 here on The Fan. There was a doubleheader in Monday Night Football. Nick Folk kicked 5 field goals, 3 of them beyond 50 yards, as the Titans beat the Dolphins 31-12 in Miami. Both teams are 1-3. In Detroit, Jared Goff was 18 for 18 passing for 292 yards and 2 touchdowns, as the Lions topped the Seahawks 42-29. Both teams are 3-1. The Sports Center is sponsored by Whiskey War by High Bank Distillery. Drink local, drink High Bank.
Counting down the days until Shark's retirement. You are listening to Morning Juice.
Hour 3 of the program for us on a Tuesday. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Schlegel, he's going to join us here momentarily. And then Uncle Beau, he's going to round out the program with us coming up here at 8:33. Those guys have a big announcement today at 10 a.m. So just a couple hours away, you're going to get to hear from them and what they have planned. What is it? I don't know. You're going to have to stick around and find out. So Schlegel's momentarily. Uncle Beau, a.k.a. Beau Bishop, hosts the show right after us. He comes up here at 8:33 this morning.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Monday Night Football last night, double barrel action. Titans 31, Dolphins 12. No Will Levis, no problem for the Titans. They'll pick on their first possession of the game.
He gave him what he needed to give him, Dave.
Yeah, Dolphins not very good last night. 31-12 final on that one. Then a great game in your second barrel, the doubleheader. Lions 42, Seahawks 29. Great offensive game. Jared Goff going 18 for 18. Perfect game, although it will not count because he needed to attempt 20 passes.
Yep. Unfortunately, that could... He played great, though. The Lions with Man Campbell, man. They're awesome.
Watch out. Watch out for those guys, man. They're really good. So 42-29. MLB wildcard round begins today, 2:30. We'll start you off with the Tigers and the Astros. Winner of that series and their 3-game set will be in Cleveland on Saturday to face the Guards. And then you got the Crew at home against Miami tomorrow at 7:30 over at lower.com field.
The best way to start a morning is with a heavy dose of iron. Gas station ready, always. It is Schleg Day.
As we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline, check with our great friend. He is Anthony Schlegel. Schlegs, happy Tuesday, buddy. What's happening?
I am Anthony Schlegel. What's up, Columbus? Live and local, boys. What's up?
How you doing? All right?
I'm doing great. Just and in the armory, gonna get juicy. I'm gonna change it up today. I'm gonna do back. I'm gonna do a heavy Back to the Future Tuesday, where I'm just gonna lift as much iron with as many reps as I possibly can, so that it looks like I have wings. There you go.
You gonna go track down that cricket in the background? Maybe have it for some breakfast protein?
No, doesn't that sound good out here? Like, that's beautiful.
Gosh, that's amazing.
It's a loud cricket, man.
No, it's not just a cricket. It's just nature, right? It's like, wow, that's Nature Stone. You know what I mean? You ever heard that commercial?
Wow.
Yeah, it's Nature Stone. Yeah, honestly, it's just quiet. It's good times. All you need is a whiteboard, and you can do a lot of damage out here. Let me tell you.
So, are you just wandering around outside the farm right now?
Yeah, but I'm gonna show my truck door now. That way you guys can hear me better. How about that? That's sexy.
No, I like the nature sound, Schlegs. I think everybody's enjoying, waking up, listening and watching the world wake up.
Like a modern day David Attenborough.
This
Hey,
is the best.
I don't know if you saw this. Pete Rose died yesterday, Schlegs, at 83 years young. Let me hear your thoughts on old Charlie Hustle.
All right, Charlie Hustle was Charlie Hustle. I mean, he played the game. If there is a way of playing the game of baseball violently, Pete Rose probably played the game of baseball very, very violently. I like the way. It's funny because, Ty Cobb, you read the history books, and Ty Cobb was just an absolute douchebag to everybody, but guy played the game hard. Pete Rose played the game hard. I like that. I remember when I played baseball, I tried to run over. I played a physical brand of baseball when I was young. That's all I knew. Like, just go as hard as you possibly can. It's not like you're out there getting tons of opportunities. You get 3 to 4 at bats a game. Why not go hard? And if you get on the bases, why not score? If there's a catcher there, run them over. If there's somebody on the bag they're trying to turn to, throw a cleat in their knee. See if they're going to do that again. Right? I don't know. Probably not politically correct, but he played hard, man. That's it.
He is Anthony Schlegel with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. What did you think of Ohio State's road test against Sparty, Schlegs? 38-7. Maybe some issues to work on the first half. Looked like they were playing base D. Second half, just kind of a boa constrictor, only allowing Michigan State to 60 yards in the final 30 minutes.
Yeah, I like. Listen, guys, we play a great game and we try to play it perfectly, but you're never going to play a perfect game. That's why coaches grade you. You know what I mean? So there's always ways to improve. So just throw that nugget out there for everybody that wants to be super critical. You could have got beat by Kentucky at home. That's terrible. But, there were some explosive plays. We talked with Lathan about it. On the Bobby Carpenter show yesterday, and are there some things for sure? Honestly, probably, people talk about some things ratcheting up for the defense. If there was one thing I probably would like to see, would be on some of the running plays, like meeting linebackers reacting faster and coming downhill at the line of scrimmage, like building the wall. Now, part of that too is Aiden Childs could run. They spread you out a little bit. Now you're a little bit outside of your gap, and now you have that run-pass conflict. But, once they got dialed in after the first couple of series, I thought they played very, very well. And here's the other thing, guys. Yeah, teams are going to be able to move the ball on you. They don't get by they'll get by BC there at the end of the game. I mean, what were they going into that game? 3-1, right? So potentially 4-0 into that game. They've had an issue turning the ball over. What do the Buckeyes do? They made them turn the ball over. And that's the sign of a great defense. Like, guys, the one takeaway from that game for me was how hard our guys play. And Ryan Day said that's the measuring stick of a game. Like, you want to be the hardest playing team in college football. They play extremely hard. They play extremely violent. You don't have guys blocking on the perimeter, doing pass pro, having a Mecca pull and pancake a Mike linebacker if you're playing fast and violent. That's just the fact. So I look at those things and the chippiness that they're kind of playing with, and Lathan alluded to it, like, controlled chaos, right? Like the emotions are there, but it's controlled to not impact your team. I love seeing that. Love seeing the way Caleb's playing. Our dude Mitch Milton, Big Mitch, Larry Hoover, right? He came in there, had a sack and a half. JT had a sack.
Hallelujah, Schlegs.
Hallelujah, man. I mean, honestly, he's the best, dude. So, anyway, it's a lot of, and that's besides the fact of, JJ and Will being able to step up in the pocket and take one right in the ribs. Like, those are things that you want. If you can't play the great teams early, which, again, was not their fault. They were supposed to play Washington. They joined the Big Ten. But those are the things that you want to see as you go through the first 4 games, right? Are they getting better week in and week out? I think the offense is playing well. I love Seth and the way that he's getting to the second level and playing physical, though he's a highly intellectual person. Because, for that one award that Bob knows, that's for the highest scholar athlete in the planet. But a lot of good takeaways from that game.
It's pretty impressive. Like you said, we talk about our guy Seth McLaughlin. I forget what that is.
Is he related? I should ask him if he's related to Sarah.
I think that's actually his aunt. He's a big-time singer, too.
William V. Campbell Trophy.
That's right.
Is what it is.
The Billy V. Campbell Trophy.
Yeah.
That's big time. So you talk all the time about being blue-collar and corn-fed. And when you're playing Iowa Hawkeyes, is there a more blue-collar, corn-fed game than that you're going to find?
No. I still remember 2004, Bob. We went to Kinnick Stadium.
Don't bring that up.
Got beat 35-7. Now, here's the thing. You guys got to remember, I was born in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. My mom was from Newton, Iowa. My dad was from Dubuque, Iowa. So I grew up a Hawkeyes fan because I was born in Iowa. And, my Uncle Tim, R.I.P., my man, correctional officer, he came to the game, right? And my mom, there was my babysitter when I was 3, because my dad was the head coach at Cove College in Cedar Rapids. That was a big deal for me. And I had a game. I had 15 tackles in that game. Yeah, why? Because we were on defense the entire game, Bob. Yeah. It was absolutely terrible. But those are the type of games that linebackers love. And again, the things that we see from the deep. And I think here's the reason why everybody is a little hesitant of that game is because they're seeing these teams run the ball, a.k.a. Ohio State, 185 yards. Guys, we didn't have a lot of plays in that game, though we had the time of possession, almost 36 minutes to 24. Defensively, we only had 52 snaps. But when you look at that game, you look at the way Iowa runs the football, you look at the way Michigan has ran the football. These teams that are basically one-dimensional have to rely on the run. How are you going to fare? This is going to be a great test for the defense and answering that call. But I will say this, don't forget, they also go against probably the best rushing attack, if that's all we wanted to do that's in the country, with our 2 running backs and Will week in and week out. So, yes, this is the week where you got to buckle that chin strap a little tighter, because it is time, as Coach Nick would say. This game is about toughness, right? Buckle your chin strap a little tighter. It is. I can already hear his pregame. It's amazing.
It's about knocking their junk in the dirt, Schlegs.
Listen. Listen, I mean, I kid you not, I can't even remember how old I was when my dad would say that to me. Like, you know, don't forget. Like, my dad had some, Jock Doc had some great nuggets he'd throw out there. What is the one thing he said? It's like, we had like 3 rules in our house. It was all right, respect your elders. Oh, yeah, here they are. Respect your elders. Don't hang in cliques, and don't take wooden nickels. Your blue-collar, corn-fed, knock their blank in the dirt. Right? That was it. Like that. And then the last statement was like the exclamation point of the 3. And, you know, it was respect your elders, treat people with dignity and respect. You know, don't hang in cliques. Be a person that can be around all people, right? And don't take wooden nickels. Mean like it's never as good as it seems, right? Like don't take something for free. Don't take fake things. You know, have some awareness about what's going on, and then don't forget who you are. Blue collar, corn fed. So great nuggets there from Jock Doc.
Buddy, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here this morning. Have a great rest of the day. Enjoy your nature this morning, and we'll check in again next week, all right?
Wow, it's Nature's Stone. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Columbus, stay classy. Go Bucks, beat cancer.
There you go. It's Anthony Schlegel with us earlier on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. More Pete Rose discussion next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. Crews clearing up a couple crashes right now. The first off of Sullivan Avenue at the intersection of Payne and Oakley. The second over on the ramp from 5th Avenue to 670 westbound. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Earn a $300 cash bonus when you open a new free checking account. Visit bmifcu.org/free for more details.
Question for you. Would you rather pay $150 a month or $15 a month to work out with the same high-quality gym equipment? At Planet Fitness, you can get top-tier equipment for $15 a month. Plus, save $28 or more when you join now during our Strong Choice sale. Our weights weigh the same, you just don't pay the same. Enjoy free fitness training and 24-hour access at most clubs, all in the judgment-free zone. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more when you join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. See club for details.
APCO, windows, siding, and decks. Business First says we're the largest remodeler in town. Our philosophy is simple. We don't rely on sales gimmicks to get our customers. We rely on our reputation.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can trust APCO.
APCO.com.
Hey guys, if you've noticed a lack of energy and drive, it could be low testosterone. Don't wait. Get your levels checked by the experts at Low T Center. They have over a decade of experience helping patients. And once you're established, you'll get the convenience of physician-monitored, at-home TRT with advanced treatment that includes both lab testing and medication. Low T Center ships directly to your door. So go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers, the people who refuse to make trade-offs in life. Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No. But she did find Direct Auto's savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
We're dealing at Reichert Ford.
$2,500 low price guarantee.
With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Thousands of vehicles are waiting at ReichertFord.com. We're dealing.
The Fan app is about to become your new best friend. Your one-stop shop for all your favorite fan shows. ESPN Columbus and BetQL. Live or on demand. Listen on your schedule. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. It's free. Do it.
There's always time for the drive-thru deal. Because no matter how fast you are at making breakfast, McDonald's is faster.
Wake up to McDonald's breakfast and mix and match a classic sausage McMuffin, delicious sausage burrito, or crispy hash browns. Get any two for just $3. Order ahead in the app and pick up curbside. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS.
today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
After 31 years in Washington, just how much has Sherrod Brown changed? When he first wanted our vote, he said this.
My allegiance will be to Ohio and to the communities in Ohio.
To Ohio? Sherrod Brown voted for amnesty for 11 million illegal immigrants. And he voted to give them taxpayer-funded benefits, like free health care to illegals who get amnesty, Social Security checks, COVID relief checks, all to be paid for by you. And Sherrod Brown's open border policies have led to more fentanyl, dangerous gangs, even terrorists pouring into our country. So when Sherrod Brown says this,
my allegiance will be to Ohio and to the communities in Ohio.
Don't listen to what Sherrod Brown says. Watch what he does. Because Sherrod Brown doesn't vote for Ohio anymore. He's way too liberal for Ohio. American Crossroads paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. AmericanCrossroads.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We do have a 30% chance of rain today. Otherwise, expect partial clearing this afternoon. High 79. 73 on Wednesday under partly cloudy skies. Thursday looks like the pick of the week. We're going 77 with plenty of blue skies. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
You're listening to Rob Manfred's least favorite radio show. This is Morning Juice.
Uncle Beau is going to come up next. We're talking some Cleveland Browns football. Also, their big announcement at 10 a.m. today. I'm not sure how much he's going to allude to, because that's going to be revealed an hour and 40 minutes away from right now. But he's going to join us coming up here in our next segment. Before we get back in the Pete Rose discussion.
Oh, you hear that sound? You know what it is? It means it's an appetizer threes day at the Roosters. Today's featured appetizer for $3 is going to be fried pickles. They're delicious. They're tasty. They're crispy. They're a big deal beam.
They're the favorite of my wife.
Absolutely. And now we're going to give you a $50 Roosters gift card. If you can answer, that's what he said.
614-821-9710. That's the phone number. Get the answer into Shark. You're going to be walking away with a $50 gift card over to our great friends over at Roosters. If you live in Cincinnati and you have a bank code, for a debit card, you're going to the ATM machine, whatever it is, what number has been outlawed in Cincinnati that you cannot use because it was just too easy to steal? 614-821-9710. Get that into Shark, and you're going to be walking away with a $50 gift card to our great friends over at Roosters. So we'll pull Sharky back in this discussion after he takes the phone call, once he gives away the gift card over there. I actually got a text from Big Daddy Paul Keels about this situation. So anytime that, Paul texts you, you listen. So Pete Rose passing away yesterday at the age of 83. And we were looking at his splits because he got it done as a lefty on 4,192 when he passed Mr. Cobb. So I was looking at his splits, Bob, versus a right-handed pitcher as a left-handed batter. Pete Rose had over 10,000 plate appearances and 3,085 hits as a lefty. As a right-handed batter, Pete Rose had 1,171 hits. That's pretty remarkable because I'm pretty sure that Pete Rose was right-handed. So as a left-handed batter, he tripled the amount of times. Obviously, way more plate appearances going against a righty as a lefty than compared to going against a lefty. But, 10,000 at-bats and 3,000 hits as a lefty. And then in 4,000 at-bats as a righty, he also had 1,000 hits, 1,100 hits.
That's pretty remarkable percentage from both sides of the plate.
Yeah, it's really, really remarkable. And what I didn't know until the voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels, texted me, and Shark, we'll pull you in for this part of the discussion. I had no clue about this. He texted me, he said Rose agreed to suspension because he was eligible for reinstatement 1 year after suspension.
Right.
And then they just kept upholding that?
Yeah, it was the understanding you're banned for life, but you can seek reinstatement after 1 year.
So it's like a life sentence in prison, and then you can get
parole.
You can get parole. It's like Red and Shawshank.
They let Red out.
Yeah.
They did let Red out.
They finally let him out when he didn't want out. Basically, he argued against it. Anyway, I really think, and this is me talking, I don't know anything else. I really think if Pete had been forthcoming, he could have been reinstated. Now, not a year later necessarily, but I think because he was so belligerent about it and just kept doubling down on his innocence.
So you think if he came out and he admitted it right away?
If he had shown remorse and said, listen, I screwed up, I did it, whatever. And again, I'm not saying after 1 year he'd have been reinstated, but I think it would have been viewed differently because I read the Dowd report, which was the MLB investigation, and they had so much evidence against him. I mean, it was pretty obvious. There were signed betting slips and
they had federal prosecution and stuff against him.
And so it was kind of like the Lance Armstrong thing where there was so much evidence, and he kept denying. And I just feel like they were not going to let him off the hook until he admitted, okay, I did it.
So then when he did in 2005 or 14 years later.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
You're telling me it's been 20 years?
Yes, that's my point. That's why I said, why didn't they, at some point, man,
in my mind, it seemed like it was decades that he kept denying this.
I'm almost positive it was in 2004, because I think I was watching some vignettes on that last night.
Bart Giamatti died 1 week after he banned Rose for life.
Really?
Faye Vincent.
Gosh, that's...
And Bart had only been commissioner 6 or 8 months. That's all the longer his term was.
2004.
When he wrote the book.
So it's been 20 years.
It's been 20 years.
20 years since that.
It was 14 prior to that.
So almost 35 years.
So Faye Vincent followed Bart Giamatti, and he was a Giamatti guy, so he wasn't going to overturn the ban. And then Selig came in, and he said, I don't see any reason to reinstate him. He couldn't find a good reason. And at that time, Rose was still claiming innocence. By the way, Bob.
Is Bud Selig still alive?
Yeah.
I hope not.
Bob.
What?
Bart Giamatti, the father of...
Paul?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
When I saw that, I was like, I was going to make the joke about it because he kind of looks like him.
Yes.
Especially more now that Paul Giamatti is probably closer to where his dad's age was. Yeah, I really like Paul Giamatti. And maybe Bart would have reinstated him had they had a talk. And
had he lived and had Pete, come clean, I think it could have. I really think it would have had a better outcome for him.
Pete Rose reached 1,000 hits in 1968. 5 years later, he had 2,000. 5 years after that, he had 3,000.
Yeah, and think about that. You play 20 years and get 200 hits a year. And you still wouldn't catch Pete.
Yeah. It'll never be broken.
No.
Right?
Nope.
No way. So at the end of the day, Shark, should Pete be in the Hall of Fame?
Pete should be in the Hall of Fame, but that's a twofold question because he's not eligible until they lift the ban. Somebody someday
I dislike
will
Bud
lift
Selig.
the ban.
And I really do. What
late.
is Bud Selig in the Hall of Fame for? Can you answer me that question?
He was a great commissioner, Bob.
Great? We get real loose with the term great around here.
He gave us interleague play.
That's what we needed.
He expanded the playoffs.
That's what people wanted.
Rob Manfred's done all that too.
Well,
Put him in the Hall.
Rob has fundamentally changed.
Rob gave us a ghost runner.
He gave us
which
the
doesn't count.
man.
Which counts on some stats, but doesn't count on others. We got sweet 7-inning doubleheaders.
I cannot believe that he is in the Hall of Fame. That's almost disgusting to me.
Well, I think every commissioner's in their own
exactly.
Hall of Fame,
well, they get nominated. They nominate themselves and put themselves in.
Who's the winner of the $50 Roosters gift card, Shark?
Didn't I text you?
No.
Come on, Bean.
You didn't text me. It's not on my phone. I'll show you my phone. Show everybody my phone right now. And the last text was from 624. Zach of Westerville won the Sonic Temple Festival. Passes a little bit earlier.
Did you mention that on the air?
I didn't.
Okay.
We just got to talking.
Congratulations, Zach.
Yeah.
Lee of Groveport wins the $50 Roosters gift card. The answer was?
$41.92 is outlawed in Cincinnati because it would be very easy to steal. Uncle Beau Bishop, he's going to join the program. We're going to check in with him, talk some Browns football with him next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, we're watching a couple crashes. Crews blocking the ramp from 5th Avenue to 670 westbound. Also, crews working to clear up a crash on Sullivan Avenue. This is right at the intersection of Wayne and Oakley. And over on West Broad Street, watch for crews blocking the intersection near Algonquin and Sylvan Avenue. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
The season may be winding down, but there's still time to make the most of Buckeye Lake. At Buckeye Lake Marina, we have year-end deals on boats, accessories, and more to get you ready for next year's adventures. Looking to upgrade? The Buckeye Lake Marina staff is there to help you find the perfect boat at unbeatable prices. Buckeye Lake Marina has a long list of satisfied customers and want you to be the next. Don't wait. Sail into savings at Buckeye Lake Marina before the year ends and find the boat that's just right for you. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for more.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. You know, as much as I enjoy being a professional inventor, a few of my dream inventions still elude me.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
Well, the bruiseless avocado.
Ooh.
The unlosable TV remote.
Could change the world.
And for you, Aaron, the uncloggable drain.
Get Eco.
Until you crack it, Jerry. You know our 93 are free drain clearing offer is the next best thing.
Okay. Explain yourself.
Get Eco.
Our drain team will clear your drain for just $93. If we can't clear it, it's free. And we guarantee it'll stay clear for at least a year, or we will clear it again for free.
Get Eco.
We'll even send our little robot camera down there to make sure you don't have a larger problem that could cause more trouble in the future.
Get Eco.
You think your guys could bring that robot over to my place and help me find that TV remote?
I think that's impossible even for us.
Get Eco.
Eco, plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
If you have an unhealthy obsession with the Blue Jackets, we have just the remedy. Join us Wednesday nights at 7 for the Inside Edge. All the Jackets and hockey conversation you can handle. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
I didn't expect to, but I need to get a new health insurance plan. The good news is I found Health Markets. I went to healthmarkets.com and saw plans available in my area. They have access to more than 200 carriers across the country. And if you need help, you can just speak with a licensed insurance agent. It's all right there for you.
Discover the advantages of real personalized service today at healthmarkets.com. Health Markets Insurance Agency, Inc. is licensed as an insurance agency nationwide except in Massachusetts. Paid actor per trail.
What's up, sandwich heads? Today on Steve-O's Sandwich Reviews, we've got the tips and tricks to the best sandwich order. And it all starts with this little guy right here. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Partial to pastrami, craving a Cubano. Yeah, sounds delicious, but boom! Add the crisp, refreshing taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar and cue the fireworks. Lunch, dinner, or late night, it'll be a sandwich worth celebrating. Trust me, your boy's eaten a lot of sandwiches in his day, and the one thing I can say with absolute fact, every bite is better with Pepsi.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change wants to help ease your oil change anxiety with a few moments of automotive peace.
Open a Platinum Rewards Visa at Kemba Financial Credit Union and secure super low everyday rates so you can pay down debt faster. Apply now at Kemba.org to unlock 2% cash back on purchases for a limited time and pay 0% interest for a full year on balance transfers plus exclusive perks. Restrictions apply. Offer ends October 31st, 2024.
This college football moment is brought to you by ServPro.
On October 21st, 2006, Michigan State found themselves down 38-3 with less than 10 minutes to go in the third quarter, and they made that initial deficit like it never even happened, scoring 38 straight points to win 41-38.
Incomplete. The ball game is over. The Michigan State Spartans in one of the greatest comebacks in Michigan State football history.
ServPro, like it never even happened.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
If this show made a scented candle, it would smell like bad coffee, unwashed jockstrap, and grass clippings.
I wasn't sure how you take your coffee.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
So, mouth or enema?
Well, Tuesday edition of the program, Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark, and at this time every Tuesday we get to check in with our favorite uncle.
Beau knows bourbon. Beau knows fashion. Beau knows horseback riding. But most importantly, Beau knows Browns.
Sponsored by High Bank Distillery, home of the best blended whiskey in America. Grab a bottle or dine in at their 2 restaurant locations in Grandview and Gahanna. Drink local, drink High Bank.
Happy Tuesday, Unc. Rumor has it here in about an hour and a half, you guys have a rather large announcement on the program.
Oh, baby. We've been working on this one for a while. So
just say it softly. Nobody will hear it.
No one's listening. It's just the 3 of us. Shark. That's it. No, it's very exciting. Thrilled to be able to do it. Something we've been working on for a long time. And so, yeah, it's going to be fun. We'll do that at 10 o'clock.
You're going to like it. Everybody's going to like it.
It's winners everywhere.
Yeah.
It's near and dear to my heart, as you guys know. We're close to a First Friday, so there's a little hint for you. And so, yeah, it's a win. Wins across the board.
Was not a win in Vegas for the Browns.
Yeah, I think, step one is like just admitting who you are, and they're one of the 5 worst teams in football. To go out there and lose to that Raiders team without Crosby and Adams, and to score 1 offensive touchdown, to fail to score 20 points in a game again. The crazy thing is Watson was actually okay.
Yeah, he was fine.
And we've kind of gotten to the point where, when he's just okay, that's a victory. We're past the point of needing him to be great.
He was the MVP on Sunday.
But he was he was the best player on Sunday. He's at 85 quarterback rating, which is nothing in today's ball game. But that's somehow some sort of victory for a guy who's supposed to be a franchise quarterback. He's not an elevator. Obviously, they know that. But he was the least of the problems in this one. They can't block it. No. He was pressured on 40% of his dropbacks. The week before, Dalton was pressured on 18% of his dropbacks. So the loss of Bill Callahan is real. They are really disorganized up front. They cannot handle a stunt to save their life. If you stunt them, you're getting home. It's just that simple. They can't figure that part of it out. Stefanski abandons the run game really quickly. And so because of that,